Entertainment. After 3 years of seclusion, he was exposed by his daughter. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76. One shot to the end. Falling off a cliff. At this moment, when everyone saw Lin Fei's eyes, they understood the true meaning of this sentence. Shocked, unimaginable, persistent in love, unbelievable when faced with the death of a loved one. No one expected that Lin Fei's eyes would show so many emotions. Is this really the person who was rumored to have been living in the village? This is obviously a master of acting. At the very least, these teams are all old members of Zhang Mao. Until now, after so many hours of filming, they have never seen anyone who can express a person's emotions so vividly. Xiao. Lowering his head, Lin Fei slowly put Li Xingxin on the ground, gently stroking Li Xingxin's hair. Lin Fei's eyes narrowed slightly, full of tenderness. Xiao, just wait. I will come to accompany you after I kill Gu Yun. Hateful. In an instant, Lin Fei raised his head, looked up at the sky and roared. Lin Fei's eyes suddenly became bloodshot, and the anger in them was fully displayed. Creak, creak, creak. Standing up and looking at Mireng Xiao, Lin Fei's eyes were full of anger and courageous determination. Gu Yun, today, I, Long Crossing, will fight to the death with you. Looking at Mireng Xiao, Lin Fei yelled, and immediately stepped forward. Looking at the fist that was slapped by the Fei, Mireng Xiao finally reacted at this moment. This scene has reached the final exciting scene. No matter what, you have to perform well. Now Mireng Xiao is also thinking in his heart. Could it be said that this scene really needs to be shot to the end? Seeing Lin Fei stretching out his fist and charging forward bravely, Mireng Xiao felt as if he was facing a huge mountain. But at this moment, he already knew in his heart that this was just a show. Therefore, facing Lin Fei's arrival, Mireng Xiao's expression changed instantly, and an indomitable momentum was fully displayed. The long sword in his hand drove straight into face Lin Fei. Little did he know, it was the change in expression at this moment that instantly created a classic scene. Well done. Today, I want to see whether you die or I die. Seeing the long sword coming, Lin Fei shouted, and his speed increased again. Of course, in the eyes of others, this speed is already the explosive power of a normal person, but to Lin Fei, it already leaves a lot of strength. After all, Lin Fei also knew deeply that this was filming, not a real life and death fight. What you need to do is to show off your powerful acting skills to convince the other party, and at the same time, you will also be able to prove your truth through this. Although there are too few shots, Lin Fei firmly believes that a sentence, even a look, will definitely affect the viewer. Looking at the long sword, Lin Fei shrunk to the ground and hit Mireng Xiao directly with a straight fist. Mireng Xiao soon felt the wind of Lin Fei's fist, and by moving his body, he avoided the fist that hit his abdomen. Drink. With a loud shout, Mireng Xiao quickly raised his right foot and kicked Lin Fei directly in the palm of his hand. Woo. Feeling the power coming, Lin Fei groaned to show his strength, and his waist instantly arched. With the merciless exertion of his legs, Lin Fei's figure flew up to a height of more than 1 meter. Falling down quickly, Lin Fei knelt on the ground, looked at Gu Yun in astonishment, and continued to speak his lines. Gu Yun, you are really strong. Hearing this, Mireng Xiao covered his injury, as if the injury he had been suffering was about to happen. Looking at Lin Fei, Mireng Xiao suddenly sneered. No, I'm not strong. There are countless people in the world who are stronger than me. It's just that the justice in my heart makes me stronger. Look at the sword. Finally, the two got entangled again. For a moment, the sound of fists and kicks could be heard on the scene. This completely reached the meaty sound, which made the crew members on the scene couldn't help but marvel. This is so hard work. Both of them were cruel. What surprises everyone even more is that, although these two people have never played together before, they have never played against each other. The two people were now going back and forth so anxiously that everyone seemed to be witnessing an action show. Little did they know that not only were they surprised, but Mireng Xiao was also so surprised that he was speechless. Because only he knows what he is facing. Even though Lin Fei dodged it, the move on his leg was just enough to hit Lin Fei. Such a feeling made Miranzaro admire him in his heart. Who is this Lin Fei? Unexpectedly, Lin Fei's fighting strength would be so strong. In this way, the two of them had been tossing and turning for dozens of rounds. I thought in my heart that the time has long been ripe. Looking at it, Miranzaro quickly stabbed out with his sword. Well done. Lin Fei was instantly happy. This is the most exciting part of this fight. Feeling the stab from the long sword, Lin Fei dodged with a stab. However, the long sword still barely scratched the mask on Lin Fei's head. The rope was cut in an instant, and the mask on Lin Fei's face fell off. At this moment, Lin Fei's face was finally revealed. The depression in their hearts was finally released at this moment. Damn it. Today, you must die. And finally, at this moment, Lin Fei suddenly shouted, as if because of his face being revealed, and as if because of the emotional excitement brought by Li Xingxin's departure. Been 5 minutes so far. Everyone watched from beginning to end, and was completely immersed in the vivid performance of the three people. And now, it was finally the final act, after which Lin Fei fell off the cliff. Now, was excited, especially Zhang Mao. Before, he was still wondering if what Lin Fei said was a bit arrogant. But now that he thought about it, this scene was played out vividly by Lin Fei. Ah, I'm going to kill you. Bang. Instantly, the two of them bumped into each other. Before Lin Fei's fist hit Miranzaro's face, Miranzaro's right leg kicked out with great force. This kick made Miranzaro grit his teeth, and he fell backwards because of the strong force. Looking at Lin Fei again, he actually flew backwards with the help of the reaction force and his own strength. Perfect. Zhang Mao was so excited that he was about to shout cut. However, the next scene shocked him instantly. Chapter 77. Just push, jump, and dig. This was the only surprising thought in everyone's mind at this time. I saw that Lin Fei was only 3 or 4 meters away from the cliff behind him. And with Miranzaro's kick, plus Lin Fei's reverse force, Lin Fei flew backwards instantly. Everyone thought that this was such a perfect shot, and falling down, they widened their eyes. Everyone's heart suddenly thumped. When everyone saw Lin Fei's figure disappear, they were speechless. Zhang Mao panicked when he saw this situation. And Miranzaro, who fell to the ground at this time, saw this situation, and widened his eyes, and looked at it in disbelief. I kicked Lin Fei off the cliff. This expression should have been shown here. This is the setting of Miranzaro's character, although it is said that in order to maintain the peace of the martial arts world, Gu Yan himself is a person who does not like fighting. Therefore, at the moment when Lin Fei was kicked off the cliff at the end, Miranzaro had to express such regret. After all, he firmly believed that turning back was the sure point and kicking Lin Fei, that is, long crossing in the play off the cliff, was also a helpless move. But now, this emotion was expressed vividly. No. Finally, at this moment, Miranzaro shouted loudly. He quickly climbed up and rushed forward, wanting to see what Lin Fei was like now. And he also ran to the edge of the cliff, and when he saw the situation below, his expression suddenly changed. Screamed. Everyone shouted anxiously. Could it be that Lin Fei was really going to die here today? How could it be possible? No. Everyone shouted wildly in their hearts. No one would accept Lin Fei facing such a result. Looking at Wang He and the others, they had already felt their legs weakened. They even dared not imagine that such a thing would happen. This happened so fast that, even if they wanted to stop it from happening, they could not do it at all. Speechless. Costume. No, it's this Lin Fei. How come he didn't die? No. At this moment, everyone didn't know how to describe their feelings. This matter, unbelievable. I'm dying of heat. This clothes, not breathable at all. Lin Fei was still mumbling at this time. Zhao Fei, embarrassed. Looking at everyone, Lin Fei smiled. I say, what are you doing? Why don't you continue filming? I remember that after I fell, Miranzaro still had half a minute of plot. It's not even half a minute yet, right? Everyone was stunned. A tree. If there wasn't, you would be dead, you know. Of course I know. Lin Fei shrugged. If I didn't know there was a tree here, do you think I would dare to jump? What Lin Fei said was right. He is powerful, but he is far from being fearless. In fact, no one on earth Can do it. And Lin Fei's current situation was actually judged long ago. After all, it was Lin Fei who rescued these people the day before yesterday, and at that time, Lin Fei had already judged the bearing capacity of the tree. Before that, when Lin Fei saw the script, he decided to use a one shot to the end. But he didn't expect that there would be such a mistake in the end. Quick, quick, quick. Hurry up and use your power to lift Xiao Fei up. Zhang Mao finally reacted, but at this moment, when everyone was dispersing, Lin Fei suddenly slapped the tree trunk and his whole body flew up into the air. With such a flying move, Lin Fei's feet also appeared on the horizontal line of the tree trunk. In an instant, Lin Fei's legs arched and stepped directly on the tree trunk. With a sudden force, Lin Fei stepped on the tree trunk with his feet. In an instant, Lin Fei's body rose from the ground and flew 2 or 3 meters in an instant. And it was with such a flying move that Lin Fei flew directly to the edge of the cliff, half kneeling on the ground, and continued to smoke with an indescribable indifference. For a moment, Zhang Mao was stunned and spoke, "You, how did you get up? Just a push, a jump, a pull, and then I came up." Zhang Mao was stunned. Just came up like this? Zhang Mao would never believe such a result anyway. Damn, it was not like this when they fell down the day before yesterday. At that time, looking at the cliff 1 meter above, they didn't even dare to move. At this time, everyone had only one thought. This Lin Fei is a complete lunatic. Dad, you scared me to death. As a result, at this moment, Lin Yao broke free from Zhuang Fei's arms and rushed forward. Seeing this, Lin Fei shouted, "Ouch. Don't come over. Dad is dirty. Be good and play with your grandma Zhuang." Chapter 78. The shooting is over, but the shock has not yet subsided. Finally, in the rest area next to him, Lin Fei changed his clothes and told everyone his thoughts from the beginning to now. The words are not surprising and endless. After heard these words, they were shocked. Yes, but if Lin Fei said this at that time, maybe no one would believe it. And now, a word appears in everyone's mind. Artists are bold. This Lin Fei, are you a bit brave? Everyone felt like they were surviving a disaster at this time, but they didn't expect Lin Fei to be so bold. At the very least, if this matter is left to them, they probably wouldn't even dare to think about it. Xiao Fei, you can't do this next time. Do you know how scared I was by you just now? Zhuang Fei saw the anger on Lin Fei's face, as if he was angry. Aunt Zhuang, I was wrong. Why not do it differently next time? Lin Fei chuckled, then turned his head and looked at Zhang Mao. Director Zhang, how's it going? How was the shot just now? Doesn't it need to be retaken? Looked at the people around him and shouted. Everyone continues working. Let's finish shooting the last shot of Xiao. Then we'll see if there are any missing shots. Then we'll hurry up and reshoot. Yes. Everyone started to get busy after hearing this. Makeup was urgently applied to Mireng Xiao's face, and the filming of the last shot finally started off the cliff point. After confirming Lin Fei's death, Mireng Xiao turned around and walked back. Halfway through, Mireng Xiao suddenly spurted out a mouthful of blood. The long sword in his hand fell off, and he fell directly to the ground. A piece of Mireng Xiao's inner monologue was played, coupled with a zooming out camera, and the movie ended here. The entire shot is also shot in one go. When a group of people gathered in front of the display screen and saw the picture above, they were so surprised that they were speechless. Perfect. Other than that, everyone really doesn't know what to use to describe it. Everyone was completely captivated by everyone's performance. I saw that the shots from beginning to end were completely coherent without any flaws. And everyone's expression was very good, and no flaws were found at all. Here, the fighting scenes here are the most satisfying to me. I never expected that. Xiao Fei, you are actually a practicing master. Be so powerful. Moreover, I relied entirely on subconscious movements, and Brother Lin was basically catering to me. When he thought of such a thing, Mireng Xiao felt a burst of admiration in his heart. Not only was Lin Fei's personal strength strong, but he could also take care of himself. Mireng Xiao had never seen such strength. At least, when Lin Fei heard this, he chuckled and scratched his head. He really felt a little embarrassed now. This look. Hiss. And when everyone saw Lin Fei's madman-like look in his eyes when his mask fell off at the end, they all gasped in shock. Lin Fei's eyes at that time were extremely sharp. Heartbeat had stopped just now. Zhang Mao can be sure that this is the first time in his career as a director that he has seen such a sharp gaze. Woo. The screen continues to play. When everyone saw Lin Fei falling off the cliff, they all covered their mouths. It was as if the tense scene just now still echoed in everyone's hearts. Madman. This is a complete madman. This Lin Fei. And when looking at the last shot of Murong Zhao, everyone was very satisfied. Murong Zhao, in the last shot, completely showed his emotions. When the shot kept zooming in, what was shown was the magnificence of nature. Perfect. After seeing such a scene, Zhang Mao finally gave this evaluation. He no longer wanted to call such a movie point artwork. Zhang Mao felt that this word was the most appropriate to describe it. After thinking for a long time, Zhang Mao smiled and turned his head, looked at everyone around him and spoke. Everyone. Jiang, who is officially finished from now on. Wow. Everyone cheered immediately after hearing this, including Lin Fei and others. They all laughed when they heard this. Everyone felt Zhang Mao's relief at this time. Everyone also knew how much pressure Zhang Mao had for such a shot. Okay, everyone stop. Finally, Zhang Mao picked up the loudspeaker next to him and started shouting. When the people around heard it, they immediately quieted down. Looking at everyone's puzzled expressions, Zhang Mao laughed and spoke. Next, the field staff will pack up immediately, and the camera crew will send our equipment to the production team immediately. It is now 10:30, 11:30, at the Happy Farm in Maniuan County. We will not return until we are drunk. Everyone heard this. They immediately echoed and shouted loudly. After changing clothes and washing the blood on their hands and faces, Lin Fei and his group also received the invitation from Zhang Mao. So just like that, a group of 60 or 70 people headed towards Maniuan County in a mighty manner, even letting go of the live broadcast of the Mushroom House. Chapter 79. You don't know in front of you. In the car heading to Maniuan County, Lin Fei smiled. What? Director Zhang said, just call me Zhao Fei. Haha, you kid. It's so refreshing. But, as he spoke, Zhang Mao frowned. Zhao Fei, let me tell you, when you jumped down just now, do you know how I felt at the time? I even wanted to die. You really scared me. That's right. Your Aunt Zhuang and I are old, but we can't stand your torment like this. Daddy is so bad. Dad is so bad. One shot to the end. At the end, if such a scene is shown, everyone's emotions will be brought to the extreme. That's what I said, but this is too dangerous. Let me tell you, Kit, if you do this again, I won't be looking for you if I have any trouble. Oh, hearing this, Lin Fei did not reply to Zhang Mao's words, but instead spoke in surprise. What Director Zhang means is that if there is a movie in the future, he will come to me to film it. Why don't you look for it? When Zhang Mao heard this, he reacted immediately. Do you know how you performed today? I have really seen too many actors in my life, but I can do it like you. You can completely express so many emotions with just your eyes under the mask. To be honest, I admire your kid's acting skills. I'm curious, what have you experienced in all these years? If you don't have rich life experience, I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to do this. Hey, Lin Fei scratched his head in embarrassment. Maybe I have a calm mind and think about it often. Well, everyone was surprised. Zhang Mao curled his lips. What you said is really too modest. And soon, Zhuang Fei, who was sitting next to him, finally spoke. I said, Zhao Fei, you are so good at singing, but you still want to enter the entertainment industry? Yes. Aunt Zhuang, you also know my difficulties. Now I can only try my best. Oh, okay. Zhuang Fei just smiled and said nothing more. In her heart, she felt a little sorry for Lin Fei. At such an age, one should be enjoying family happiness with Tang Xin and enjoying the happiness of a family of 3. But I didn't expect that I would have to bear such pressure now. Seeing Lin Fei's face slightly tired from the past few days of exertion, Zhuang Fei thought to herself that in the future, she must help Lin Fei and Tang Xin get together successfully. How could Zhuang Fei want to see such a person who looked like him own son feel so uncomfortable? Dang, push away the dark clouds in the sky As a result, at this moment, the driver in front chose to play a song. But when everyone heard this song, they all laughed. On the contrary, Lin Fei smiled helplessly at this moment. His own song, nothing to say. And when Zhang Mao heard the melodious voice, he couldn't help but shook his head and started humming along. Listening and listening, when the gentle music started playing, Zhang Mao was amazed. Oh, this song is really nice. With that said, Zhang Mao turned his head again and looked at Lin Fei and the others around him. Hey, let me tell you, this song is now a hit all over the internet. It was released last night and has already had nearly 1 billion views. Now on the internet, everyone is talking about this song. Have you heard of it? Ask him for an autograph or something. Haha. Seeing Zhang Mao's appearance, everyone nodded like chickens pecking at rice. Everyone was holding back their smiles and didn't know what to say for a while. Zhang Mao quickly noticed strangeness, and when he heard this, he quickly spoke in confusion. What's going on? What's your expression? PFFT. Ha ha ha. Finally, Lin Ya couldn't help it anymore, and she covered her stomach and laughed. Second treasure on his shoulder, as if sensing Lin Ya's happiness, was also meowing with his eyes narrowed. This time, Zhang Mao became even more confused. Looking at Lin Ya's cute smile, Zhang Mao asked, "Little girl Jana, why are you laughing? Can you tell Grandpa Zhang something?" As Lin Fei is elder, given his age, it was not too much to ask Lin Jia to call her grandpa. Dad, what can I say? Lin Jia looked at Lin Fei very sensibly and asked doubtfully. After listening to Lin Jia's words, Lin Fei smiled slightly and then nodded. Say it. Nodding, Lin Jia looked at Zhang Mao and spoke. Grandpa Zhang, you want the signature of the singer. Isn't that person right in front of you? What do you mean? Zhang Mao obviously didn't react for a while. But suddenly, Zhang Mao suddenly thought of something. Turning around and looking at Lin Fei, Zhang Mao hesitated for a moment and finally spoke. I say, Xiao Fei, this song, isn't it you who sang it? I didn't react before, but now I think about it, your voice and this song are really similar. Besides, Zuan Fei just said that you can sing in addition to acting, so is it you? Hahaha. Seeing that Zhang Mao finally reacted at this time, the people around him laughed wildly at this time. And Lin Fei happened to hear the climax of the song in the car at this time, and he also hummed along. Love is just one word, I only say it once. In an instant, Lin Fei's voice sounded, and it was exactly the same as the voice coming from the speaker. This Zhang Mao was stunned. To mean, right? And you, Xiao, right? How come you only know how to bully your elders? Haha. Everyone laughed even more happily. Chapter 80, the listing ceremony. Someone is looking for trouble? However, Zhang Mao's face always pretended to be very unhappy. He felt like he was being bullied and couldn't fight back. Got it. Finally, Zhang Mao thought of something and spoke quickly. Xiao Fei, you lied to me. You must accompany me to drink more at the celebration party later. Otherwise, I will be unhappy. Hearing this, Lin Fei became embarrassed. Director Zhang, I also want to drink with you, but I'm really sorry. I have a very important matter this afternoon and I can't drink. Zhang Mao was surprised. What's the matter? You don't want to drink, so you just made an excuse. No way. There is something really wrong. If you don't believe it, just ask Aunt Zuan or Teacher He. Everyone knows it. Lin Fei started to quibble and kicked the ball to others. Zhuang Fei, feeling Zhang Mao's eyes at this moment, dipped and spoke. Oh, Liao Zhang, please stop bullying Xiao Fei. I'm telling you, Xiao Fei is indeed busy with something this afternoon. By the way, suddenly, thinking of something, Zhuang Fei spoke. How about you also go to the afternoon, and we will go there too? How about that? You're all going? Zhang Mao was a little confused. What kind of big deal is this that would allow you all to go through? Hi. He Yun took over the conversation. That's it. Xiao Fei. After telling the story bit by bit, Zhang Mao finally understood what was going on. Snapped. Zhang Mao patted his thigh and smiled. Hey, so that's what happened. Xiao Fei, let's stop drinking today. In the afternoon, I will bring a few cameramen over to cheer you up. Then we can take pictures as a souvenir. Haha, thank you, Director Zhang. Thank you for what, Zhang? Mao waved his hand indifferently, but there was gratitude in his eyes. Do you know how much your kid helped me this time? If it weren't for your appearance, maybe I will definitely have a regret in my heart. To be honest, I didn't believe you at first, but I didn't expect that you are so powerful. If we have time in the future, we will film together. With your acting skills, I'm sure that, as long as the script is good, you will definitely become a hit. Haha, okay, thank you Director Zhang. Lin Fei is not a person who refuses to accept good things. When he heard Zhang Mao's affirmation, Lin Fei agreed repeatedly. At the same time, Lin Fei was thinking, this afternoon's the Linoop is a bit too scary, right? But that's fine, because I need this kind of connections and this kind of momentum. Everyone, we're here. That, seeing the driver hesitates to speak, stopped getting out of the car. Looking at the driver, he shyly everyone took out a small notebook and a pen from his arms. Don't you know that my daughter has been humming this song when she was at home this morning? Okay, this is really the first time for a big girl to get on a sedan chair. Lin Fei signed with a blush on his face and then left under smiles. Holding Lin Fei's shoulders, Zhang Mao smiled everyone. Xiao Fei, this kind of thing will happen often in the future. You have to get used to it. Alright. After walking into Xingfu Farm, ordered food. Soon the food was served and everyone started eating. For a time, the atmosphere in the entire crew was very good. Everyone was talking and laughing. Many people came up and wanted to toast Lin Fei, but Lin Fei rejected them one by one. At first, everyone was a little unhappy. Why was this person so ignorant? As a result, when Zhang Mao also excused Lin Fei, no one said anything more. Ding. Congratulations to the host. You can sign in and confirm whether you have signed in. The time, it was already 12 o'clock, but it was not the time to sign in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for acquiring computer technology proficiency. It has been automatically extracted. Oh. After hearing these words, Lin Fei raised the corners of his mouth. Unexpectedly, during this period of time, I have been extremely lucky. This came with another skill, which surprised Lin Fei. Soon, Lin Fei felt a tingling sensation in his mind, but it only lasted for half a minute. Half a minute later, when Lin Fei felt so much more knowledge in his mind, he smiled. Does this system know what it lacks? During this period of time, Lin Fei was worried about one thing and didn't know what to do. Now he's fine. Take it into consideration. Ring ring ring. Just when Lin Fei was secretly happy, his cell phone rang. He picked it up and saw that it was Yan Liang and Mr. Yan's phone number. Hello, Mr. Yan, how about lunch? Haha. Good afternoon, Xiao Yaolin. I'm calling you. I mainly want to ask you, how about we hold a listing ceremony at 3 in the afternoon? Of course. I'm free anytime in the afternoon. Good. Hearing this, Yan Liang was very satisfied and spoke. Oh, by the way, Xiao Fei, I have invited more than a dozen media outlets this afternoon. They will all be there. Let's promote it well then. Oh, is that so? Lin Fei glanced at Yan and the others beside him, and then nodded. Okay, then at 3 PM, old Yan, we'll meet there. Okay. Finally, the two finished their conversation and hung up the phone. Xiao Fei, come and eat. As soon as he hung up, Zhang Mao called Lin Fei to eat. When Lin Fei saw him, he immediately responded and started eating. In this way, everyone talked and laughed while eating in a great atmosphere out from drinking, and were carried away by the waiters here. And Lin Fei and his group finally left here at this time, and then got in the car and headed towards Maniuan village. Sitting in the car, Yan smiled. Hey, I haven't hosted such a scene for a long time. Why am I a little nervous? Huang Fei smiled and said, nervous, isn't it because you value such a hosting? Zhuang Fei, I'll go up and sing a song later. Listening to everyone's conversation, Lin Fei's heart was full of emotion. These people are so concerned about his affairs, which really makes Lin Fei feel flattered. Today's favor, he will repay it in the future. This is the only feeling Lin Fei has at this time. The beauty in his heart is gradually being arranged. But things go against one's wishes. when everyone came to the entrance of Maniuan village, in front of the land, just got off the car, and saw someone arguing with the people from the land transaction center. Someone is here to make trouble, and come prepared. Chapter 81, is he coming with bad intentions? At this time, Zhang Qiang was processing his own documents, but there was always a figure in his mind. That figure was Lin Fei. At this time, Zhang Qiang gritted his teeth when he thought of Lin Fei. He was very worried about Lin Fei's rise. In that case, the original incident would become a time bomb, and would be exposed sooner or later the foot. Of course, he could also fire Tang Xin, but he couldn't do that. Zhang Qiang fully demonstrated that businessmen pursue profits. At this time, Zhang Qiang thought in his heart that he couldn't lose such a sweet thing. Tang Xin is now the golden signboard of Qingshan Entertainment. How much fame and fortune she has brought to the company, Zhang Qiang knows all this better than anyone else. To work harder for some reason. Could it be that it was because of Lin Fei's appearance that she had the fighting spirit? Zhang Qiang was puzzled. But no matter what, Zhang Qiang would not say anything more about this kind of thing. That would only benefit the company. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. Hearing the knock on the door, Zhang Qiang answered and raised his head. At the door, the secretary Xiao Zhao walked in. Seeing Xiao Zhao, Zhang Qiang didn't know how to describe his mood at this time. Long before all this was because of the appearance of the new song. Zhang Qiang was full of expectations, but in the end, such a situation occurred. In this way, how could Zhang Qiang accept it? After thinking about it, Zhang Qiang looked at Xiao Zhao and smiled. Haha, Xiao Zhao, come, sit next to me. Qiang's slap on her face was like hitting her heart, making her feel insulted. Looking at Zhang Qiang's eyes, Xiao Zhao seemed to see the devil point at this moment. She wanted to retreat so much point. After thinking about it, Xiao Zhao finally forced a smile and walked forward. Now, if I broke up with Zhang Qiang, how would I live in the future? Boss, what's wrong? Why do you look not so good? After coming to Zhang Qiang's side and putting down the documents, Xiao Zhao came to Zhang Qiang and began to rub his shoulders and back. Hey, it's all Lin Fei's fault. As he said that, Zhang Qiang grabbed Xiao Zhao's tender hand and said gently, Xiao Zhao, I'm really sorry. I beat you up before because that Lin Fei is so hateful. This Lin Fei is simply a thorn in my eye. I will not be at peace until I get rid of him. Before I beat you up, I was really helpless. I'm really sorry. Listening to Zhang Qiang's words, Xiao Zhao's eyes flashed with a trace of disgust, but he still smiled and spoke. How could it be, dear? I know that you are just a little excited. How could I not know about this? But this time, I came to bring you good news. Oh, what good news? Hearing Xiao Zhao's words, Zhang Qiang's expression suddenly became happy. Spoke immediately. Let me tell you, I got the news half an hour ago that there is new news from Wang Gaoden, who we sent out. What? News? Tell me, when? Zhang Qiang heard this, he became excited. Xiao Zhao heard it and immediately spoke. Just now, he got the news that Lin Fei seemed to be holding a land listing ceremony for a charity school today. Land listing? Did he buy the land? Does he have money? I don't know about that, but Xiao Zhao smiled and said, I always feel that there should be some traps in this matter. It is obviously not as simple as we think. So, I also asked Wang Gaoden to prepare, and when the listing is held later, go and cause some trouble for him. Oh, can it be a one-shot kill? Zhang Qiang asked expectantly. Xiao Zhao heard it, and spoke with a smile. Of course. I'm sure that, if Lin Fei really has something fishy going on, Wang Gaoden will definitely find it. Even if Lin Fei is dressed in white, he will be covered in mud. Besides, I have prepared another plan. When Suwan has been invited to participate in the third episode of The Beautiful Countryside, by then, Xiao Zhao whispered in Zhang Qiang's ear. Listening bit by bit, Zhang Qiang's eyes suddenly lit up. Great. Wonderful. Honey, I never thought you would. Ring, ring, ring. Hearing the phone ring, Zhang Qiang picked up the phone beside him and saw that it was his wife calling. Seeing this, Zhang Qiang directly chose to mute it and put it aside, and then started to play with Xiao Zhao. What's going on? After getting off the car, Lin Fei pondered. On the grass beside the road, there were several people standing, each with a camera and a microphone. In front of him, there was a man who was dressed very simply and looked very ordinary, foreboding. And Lin Fei listened and nodded silently. From beginning to end, Lin Fei always believed in his own vision. Now, he has begun to think in his heart, what are these people doing here? Because Lin Fei received a call from Yan Liang before. They and some media reporters have not arrived yet. Why did these people come early? Was it premeditated? Or was it just a coincidence? Daphne, what should we do? Mireng Zhao frowned on the side. Lin Fei also frowned and spoke, wait and see. I want to see whether this is a bad omen or a icing on the cake. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82, Old Yan arrives, started. Similarly, the rest of the people got off the car at this time. He-yun came to Lin Fei and asked, have they arrived in advance? Isn't this too early? It's really surprising. He-yun turned around and looked at the others around him and smiled. If you don't have anything to do, go back first. After all, our mushroom house still needs to be live broadcast. After hearing this, some guests who followed left here one after another. Group is also very important. Now everyone is watching the excitement here. What will happen then? So, in the end, only Huang Yi, Mireng Zhao, Li Xingxin, Wang Yao, Zhang Mao and some cameramen they brought were left here. Looking at the grassland of the year before last, on the roadside in the distance, one by one, the board houses had already been built, and Zhang Mao sighed. Honest, I'm already looking forward to it. Yes, there are very few charity schools that can achieve the scale of Zhao Fei. Moreover, Zhao Fei spent a lot of money without blinking an eye. I admire him. Hearing He-yun also echoing on the side, Lin Fei smiled bitterly. Director Zhang, teacher He, I say, don't flatter me to death. The charity you have done in your life is not less than mine. But, as he said, Lin Fei looked at the people who were secretly watching him on the side, and then spoke, but, I always feel that there is something wrong with these people. What do you mean? Hearing Lin Fei's words, He-yun immediately became confused. Could it be that these people are not reporters from the media? If it's a reporter, they should be. Lin Fei spoke, but it shouldn't be us who invited them, because just now the person in charge of this land, Mr. Yan, has called me and said that all their media are on the way. All the media, that is to say, apart from this, Mr. Yan did not invite any other media. But now, these people's early arrival makes me feel something is wrong. Oh, is that so? Everyone heard it and reacted. Point. There is a reason for everything, and it is obvious that such a thing makes feel very strange. Point. After thinking for a long time, Zhang Mao spoke, let's take a look first. It looks like everyone, it was definitely premeditated, and now, things haven't started yet. We still don't know what it will become. Okay, everyone listened and nodded. Fei spoke, Zhao, go and call some of our construction workers over. Later, we will hang up the sign and show the construction drawings. Okay. As he said, Wang Yao took out his mobile phone and called a subordinate here. Soon, Lin Fei saw 5 men coming out of the boardroom next to the construction area. 4 of them were holding shovels and hammers, and 1 was holding some thick iron sticks and wires. Seeing these people coming, the leader came forward. Master Wang, you are here too. Hearing this, Wang Yao smiled. Yes, Uncle Chen, this is my good brother's project. There will be a listing ceremony later. Of course I have to come and watch it. Haha, good. The man's name is Chen Chao, and everyone quickly got familiar with each other. At the same time, Chen Chao was also very surprised. He didn't expect that Lin Fei would find so many big names. These everyone are all well-known figures in the entertainment industry. Now these people appeared here, which surprised. Made some preparations on the side. Point. In this way, everyone prepared in an orderly manner. The time came to 2:45. Seeing that the listing ceremony at 3 o'clock was getting closer and closer, Lin Fei couldn't help but get excited. Lin Fei had never experienced this before. Back then, Lin Fei was just an ordinary boy. Now, he has taken so many steps, and each step is extremely important to Lin Fei. Similarly, each step is extremely firm for Lin Fei. Lin Fei knows that it is difficult, but what if it is difficult? Isn't it just a little hard? After all the hardships, there is sweetness. Lin Fei feels that it is nothing to be able to be with his beloved in the end. Thinking about it, Lin Fei smiled with satisfaction. Buzz buzz buzz. At this moment, Lin Fei heard the roar of the car engine up here. Seeing this, Lin Fei smiled. At this time, so many people can come, it must be Yan Liang. So, Lin Fei walked to the side of the road and prepared to greet them. Bus, bus, creak. Finally, the car drove slowly past and stopped in front of Lin Fei. Soon, the car door opened and Yan Liang got out first. Haha, little friend Lin, it seems that you have been waiting for a long time, right? These guys, hiss, Yan Liang's eyes were quickly attracted by the people following behind Lin Fei. These people are all very well-known people. In fact, even Mireng Zhao and Wang Yao are the stars that Yan Liang's children like. Why? Why are there so many stars? Yan Liang asked in surprise. Lin Fei smiled. Haha, Mr. Yan, don't be surprised. These are all my good friends. They heard about this today and rushed here to support the scene. Support the scene. And Lin Fei turned his head and looked at the others and spoke. Everyone, this is the person in charge of this piece of land, Mr. Yan Liang. Mr. Yan, I guess I don't need to introduce these people to you, right? Of course not. Yan Liang walked up with a smile. These people are the most popular figures in the entertainment industry today. I remember they are called Wang Yao and Mireng Zhao, right? Hi. My little granddaughter likes you two very much. Later, if it's convenient. Wang Yao is very friendly. He took over the conversation before Yan Liang finished speaking. Signature. Seeing Yan Liang nodded, everyone laughed at noon point and Yan Liang continued to get acquainted with others. After getting acquainted with everyone, Yan Liang looked at Lin Fei and found that he could not see Lin Fei clearly. This kid, who is he? How can you get to know so many big stars casually? This kid is definitely not simple. Chapter 83, named Lin Fei. Is it finally here? Everyone stood together, and Zhang Mao quickly understood Yan Liang's character, and admired Yan Liang for being such a person who cared about the people. But Yan Liang didn't think anything of it when he heard this. Yan Liang turned to the side of the bus, and began to open the trunk door. The others were moved when they saw Yan Liang doing this. Such a person in charge is really admirable. Xiao Fei, you decided on such a thing without hesitation. Is it related to old Yan? Somewhat. Lin Fei nodded after listening to He Yan's words. Soon, when everyone saw Yan Liang carrying a large white sign and walking over and everyone saw the words on it. Integrated School Construction Project. At the top, there is a space for a few words. Xiao Fei, there is a space for a few words for you. I forgot about it before. This is just a rough preparation. I have also prepared the pen. Just write down the name of the school. We will need it later, when we hang the sign. Okay. Lin Fei thought for a long time, after taking the pen handed over by Yan Liang. Da Fei, what's wrong? I said, you haven't thought about this name, have you? Hearing Wang Yao's words, Lin Fei curled his lips. Do you think it's possible? After rolling his eyes at Wang Yao, Lin Fei immediately picked up the signature pen, looked at the empty space, and wrote on it instantly. This word is good. Can see a lot of stories from your handwriting. Hearing Zhang Mao's praise, Lin Fei smiled embarrassedly. The others behind him fell silent when they saw this. After a long time, He Yan finally spoke. Xiao Fei, are you going to use such a name? Of course. Lin Fei silently looked at the two words Lin Fei written in front of him and suddenly smiled. Name, Lin Fei naturally would not say the true meaning of this name. The time has not come yet. Lin Fei thought that the true meaning of this name, for him, will be announced at the most important time. When the others heard this, those who knew Lin Fei were moved. But after thinking for a long time, no one said anything. After all, everyone understood Lin Fei's thoughts. Such feelings are admirable. By the way, SYNOPSIS, how is the construction drawing of this project prepared? Oh, I mean our overall preview. I'm a little curious about what you plan to make it look like. Yes, of course. Looking at the tables and countless chairs being moved to the construction site, Lin Fei came closer with the bird's eye view. He unfolded the entire drawing and put it on it, and everyone looked at it. The more Yan Liang looked, the more satisfied he was. After a long time, he finally spoke with admiration. The whole school adopts a square structure, and the teaching building adopts an integrated design concept exits, which can meet the strong student flow. Afterwards, there are 2 large sports venues, as well as additional outdoor basketball courts and gymnasiums, libraries, and art galleries. And the play area prepared for children has countless facilities. Of course, supermarkets and canteens are also necessary. Finally, there are the dormitory buildings. There are 3 buildings for male and female dormitories respectively, and there is also a faculty building that separates men and women. The overall structure is very perfect, and the countless vegetation and greenery are also available. Seeing such a structure, Yan Liang was amazed. TSK, such a design concept is indeed from the hands of one group, completely breaking the conventions. The connection between each building is so perfect. According to my estimation, the cost of this Lin Fei school must be 80 or 90 million, right? No, only 40 million. Lin Fei listened and responded quickly. As a result, Yan Liang spoke quickly. Impossible. How can it be so little? You know, one group is famous for its quality. Moreover, with such a huge amount of work, plus the construction period required by you, Lin Xiaoyao, it is absolutely impossible to get it without 85 million. Hearing this, Lin Fei turned his head and looked at Wang Yao. As for things related to construction, Lin Fei naturally didn't understand. But before, Lin Fei's own residence was already very expensive to build. Now for such a large project, to be honest, Lin Fei was a little bit unbelievable to hear that it only cost 40 million. But since Wang Yao's father has said it, Lin Fei will naturally not say anything. Now, Lin Fei thinks more and more that something is wrong. Is there any omission in this? Looking at Wang Yao again, he waved his hand and smiled after hearing Lin Fei's words. Seeing this, Lin Fei, who has been a good brother for many years, instantly understood. This kid, he helped me a lot again. Looking at Lin Fei, Wang Yao spoke, also said that he hopes that your money can play the biggest role. So, damn. Lin Fei naturally understood it after hearing it. What a great discount this is for me. Such a loss-making business touched Lin Fei's heart. Okay, I'll take this favor. Lin Fei patted Wang Yao on the shoulder. Wang Yao smiled. Why are we talking about this between brothers? How can our feelings be measured by money? Yes, I understand. Lin Fei responded, but the emotion in his heart was not diminished at all. Soon, Yan Liang raised his hand to check the time. Seeing that it was already 3 o'clock, he spoke. It's 3 o'clock. How about we start the land listing ceremony? Okay, everyone agreed and got ready. The media also got ready soon. After adjusting the sound system, he smiled and prepared to go on stage to host. The result. Wait a minute. Hearing this, Lin Fei narrowed his eyes slightly. Is it finally coming? Chapter 84. Just counter the opponent's moves. Hearing such a voice, the guests and reporters at the scene were confused. Where did this voice come from? What happened? Is there anything else to announce? However, what happened next let everyone know that this matter was not a good thing. I saw that the man I saw before came up with 4 people who looked like reporters behind him. Are you Lin Fei? Looking at Lin Fei, the man spoke angrily. Fei, who are you? Okay, I didn't expect you to be Lin Fei. My name is Wang Gaodan. I came here today mainly to expose you. Expose me? Lin Fei looked at Wang Gaodan's sly look and then saw a hint of confidence in his eyes, and he understood in his heart. This person is definitely well prepared. But, I don't seem to have any handle in his hands, right? After hearing this, Lin Fei was about to ask, but suddenly, Lin Fei heard a chuckle from behind him. What's going on? Why did he suddenly laugh? So, Lin Fei heard such a thing. Wang Gaodan. This name is really, isn't this Wang Gaodan? Hearing this, Lin Fei was stunned for a moment, and then quickly reacted. Feeling this, Lin Fei almost laughed out loud. This name is really like that, Wang Gaodan. No. Can't laugh, Lin Fei thought in his heart, and quickly held back the smile in his heart. I can't laugh now. They are obviously so aggressive, just looking for trouble. How can I laugh? Shut up. Looking at Wang Gaodan again, he shouted after hearing this. How could he not know the homophonic pun in his name? But what can he do? Quickly turning his head, Wang Gaodan glared at Lin Fei, as if he wanted to transfer all the emotions of being despised to Lin Fei. Looking at Lin Fei, Wang Gaodan spoke. Lin Fei? Very good. We have finished introducing ourselves, so let me tell you my purpose today. I just can't stand your behavior. I heard that there are many illegal operations in your land auction and school construction this time. I wonder if this is true. Puff. This time, Lin Fei really couldn't help it. This was not because of Wang Gaodan's name, but because of what he said. Lin Fei understood what he meant. Gaodan's momentum soaring at this time. The 4 reporters behind him also looked serious. People might really be scared. At that time, he would definitely be exposed. But Lin Fei didn't. He had been following the procedure from the beginning to the end. So, if that was the case, Lin Fei felt relieved that Wang Gaodan was speechless by Lin Fei's words, and forgot what to say for a while. But soon, Wang Gaodan thought of his at this time. Shouldn't I be more assertive when I come here? Thinking of this, Wang Gaodan quickly straightened his face and pointed purpose at Lin Fei and said righteously, "Don't play tricks on me. Let me tell you, the 2 people behind me are reporters from the entertainment news and the business news. The status of these 2 newspapers is very high. This time, I came here, of course, I came prepared, as," he said. Wang Gaodan waved his hand, and the 2 reporters behind him came up. Looking at Lin Fei, the 2 raised the microphones in their hands and pointed them at Lin Fei. Right, it is said. According to who? You don't need to care about this. We naturally cannot disclose the information of the informant. Mr. Lin, are you trying to avoid my question by asking this question? Of course not. Before Lin Fei could speak, Yan Liang came forward with a document in his hand. Person in charge of the land transaction center. I don't know if I can respond to what you said just now by saying this. Besides, I'm very curious about which media you are from. Who gave you the courage to slander at will? This, seeing that there was a seal of certification on the document, the male reporter stopped talking and the female reporter spoke again hurriedly. Mr. Lin, I heard that you chose Wang's group this time, and because you don't have that much money to pay for the project, it seems that you have a secret with Wang's group. Is that right? Bullshit. This time, it was Wang Yao who couldn't help it. Damn it. How could Wang Yao tolerate others slandering their family? Wang Yao, the female reporter asked in confusion as she saw Wang Yao approaching. Mr. Wang, as a public figure, you actually swear. I wonder if this is not in line with your identity. What is in line with it? I'm the young master of Wang's group. You are talking about my family, and I can't fight back. What? At this moment, the media workers who came here were stunned and quickly picked up their cameras to take pictures. Big news. Wang Yao, the leader of the well-known idol boy group, is actually the young master of Wang's group. I have never heard of this before. Zhao Yao, Lin Fei frowned at Wang Yao. Wang Yao really didn't want to expose his identity, but now, Wang Yao waved his hands as soon as he heard it. Don't say anything, Daffy. These people are obviously here to pick a fight, and they are slandering me. How can I tolerate it? Humph. Who knows if this is true or not? As a result, Wang Gaodan spoke, I suddenly heard in recent days that you, as a singer who just debuted, relied on your fame to defraud countless people. This is how you got the land and engineering fees for this project, and the funds have not yet been fully in place, right? Where is the evidence? Lin Fei laughed immediately, and he laughed so happily. These words really made Lin Fei laugh. Do you need to cheat money? This trick of throwing dirty water is a bit childish. Chapter 85. A puzzling look. After hearing Lin Fei's rhetorical question, Wang Gaodan's eyes rolled around for a moment, and then he spoke quickly. I haven't brought the evidence yet, but that doesn't mean I don't have evidence. Lin Fei, we already have a lot of evidence of your illegal operations. Do you want to explain now? No. After hearing this, Lin Fei shrugged. What do I have to say? I don't need to admit it at all. You have no substantive evidence at all. Now, you are just insisting on your own opinions. Could it be that, just by relying on your slander, I must admit that he is true? Now, Lin Fei was not nervous at all. Point at the original time, Lin Fei was still thinking that these people came prepared. Point the result now seems it's obviously full of nonsense. Lin Fei now has nothing to worry about. Fei, admit you are using strong words to make sense. Wang Gaodan suddenly became anxious. Yes, he was the one arranged by Zhang Qiang. Point and today, I heard that Lin Fei was going to build a charity school today. Point after hearing this, Wang Gaodan immediately judged that Lin Fei was definitely fabricating it out of thin air. How could he, an ordinary person, have so much money? Moreover, Lin Fei had never made his debut before, which further strengthened his idea. Point. So Wang Gaodan communicated with Zhao Zhao. Point finally, Wang Gaodan came up with such a plan, bringing some people over to scare Lin Fei. Relying on his absolute grasp of Lin Fei's matter, Wang Gaodan felt that he would definitely let Lin Fei reveal his flaws. Unexpectedly, even now that he is like this, Lin Fei has not leaked anything. Could it be that? Is this Lin Fei really confident? It shouldn't be. Where did Lin Fei get so much money? If he hadn't defrauded other people's money, Wang Gaodan would not have believed that there was another way. Point. So, after making up his mind, Wang Gaodan decided to use another big move. HMPH. Lin Fei, you still don't want to admit that the source of your money is unknown, right? Let me tell you, I didn't bring any other evidence, but I did bring this evidence. Looking at Lin Fei with a sneer, Wang Gaodan spoke as if he was sure of victory. Let me tell you, if you admit it now, the matter may not be that serious, but if you need to say this, Lin Fei interrupted. Look for it. Find out that I have your last name today. Lin Fei said this with great confidence. Point. Just kidding. Don't you know, if your money is being used cleanly, if you are upright, you are not afraid of slanted shadows. Would Lin Fei be afraid of this? But, upon hearing this, Wang Gaodan pretended that he really knew something, picked up his backpack, and immediately started rummaging inside. Point. Lin Fei, as for Lin Fei, was looking at Wang Gaodan with cold eyes. He was very curious about what decisive evidence Wang Gaodan would produce. However, half a minute passed, and Wang Gaodan could not come up with anything. Seeing this, Wang Yao couldn't help it. Hey, let me ask, can you find it? If you can't find it, shouldn't we talk about your slander of the Wang group first? After listening to Wang Yao's words, Wang Gaodan's movements were obviously startled, and the words he suddenly said made everyone stunned for a moment. Run. Suddenly, there was a shout, and Wang Gaodan turned around and ran away without hesitation. Point. The four reporters around him turned pale when they saw this. Very meow. Do you want this? Aren't we aggressive and looking for trouble? Just run away now. Turning their heads, looking at Lin Fei's indifference and Wang Yao's anger, the four of them looked at each other. Run. Lin Fei smiled. Today, he finally saw what it means to run away. We don't even need the equipment for filming and interviewing. Stop. On the contrary, Wang Yao, seeing this, immediately shouted and rushed forward. Okay, Zhao Yao. When Lin Fei saw this, he directly raised his hand to stop him. Looking at Wang Gaodan running away in the distance, Lin Fei smiled slightly. This kind of person is obviously here to cause trouble. Yao immediately thought of Zhang Qiang. If this were him, wouldn't it be really disgusting? This is only what we can deal with. If we really can't solve it for a while in the future, it will be troublesome. Have no idea. Lin Fei shook his head. Now I can't tell who did it. If it is really Zhang Qiang, it means that he has started to monitor me now. In the future, Suddenly Lin Fei stopped talking. Point. At this moment, he suddenly saw Wang Gaodan, who was running away, turning his head. Point. And at this moment, Lin Fei suddenly saw Wang Gaodan's eyes. At that moment, Lin Fei became confused, because he saw that these eyes were full of too many emotions. Not willing to give in? Make yourself wait. At this moment, Lin Fei had only one thought in his mind. This matter is far from over. Lin Fei now actually has a great judgment in his mind. It is very likely that Wang Gaodan was sent by Zhang Qiang time. Lin Fei suddenly smiled and turned to look at the people around him. Okay, this is just a small storm. We don't have to think about it. Let's continue the process. Mr. He, thank you for your trouble. It's okay. After a small storm, He Yun also walked out of it. So just like that, everyone finally entered the process. Stepping forward and looking at the media below, He Yun spoke, attend this listing ceremony today. As a good friend of Lin Fei, I'm also very happy to be the host of this ceremony, and you may all know Lin Fei very well. Recently, the song that has been popular on the internet was sung by Mr. Lin Fei, and now Mr. Lin Fei is even more popular. However, Mr. Lin Fei is still a kind-hearted person. Today, he even took out his savings, hoping to bring warmth to the society. Next, let us invite Mr. Lin Fei to speak. Hearing He Yun's words, Lin Fei picked up the microphone and walked forward with a smile. Looking at the media in front of him with flashlights constantly, Lin Fei smiled. The smile was so happy. This is the first time he has taken the initiative to appear in front of the public. Everyone, I'm very happy that you can come to support us today, and today, what I want to say is, Chapter 86, I heard that your cooking is delicious. Yeah, my dear, you are the best. Zhang Qiang waved the tissue in his hand, and waved it with satisfaction. This Xiao Zhao is really kind to me. He knows how to satisfy himself every day, and also knows how to help him solve his troubles. How could such a person not satisfy Zhang Qiang? Zhang Qiang was still thinking that, after finishing his work during this period, he would take Xiao Zhao out for a nice stroll, and buy some things she likes. After Xiao Zhao walked out, and returned to his office, his cell phone rang. He picked it up, and saw that it was Wang Gaodan's phone number. Seeing this, Xiao Zhao was satisfied. Presumably, Wang Gaodan's side must have found evidence of Lin Fei's illegal operations, right? This Lin Fei is really stupid. With such a well-known name, and even knowing that someone on his side is paying attention to him, he is still able to make waves. Back then. Therefore, Xiao Zhao has been grasping Lin Fei's mentality. I didn't expect that it would be so easy this time. With the corner of his raised, Xiao Zhao answered the phone. Hello, Wang Gaodan, what's going on? Did you scare Lin Fei out of some evidence? Did he bring it upon himself? Yes, you did a really good job in this matter. When you come back, I will find the boss to reward you. By the way, please send the evidence first. I have to deal with it quickly. Sister Zhao, no, that's not the case. What's the meaning? When Xiao Zhao heard this, he frowned immediately. After tidying up his messy hair, Xiao Zhao asked uncertainly, I said, what do you mean by this? Could it be that things didn't work out? Yes, Wang Gaodan responded seriously. When Xiao Zhao heard this, he immediately objected. How is it possible? Where did Lin Fei get so much money? Where did he get so many connections? He is just a person who has never made his debut. How did you do it? Didn't you follow what I told you? Do what you say. How can you do that, Sister Zhao? Wang Gaodan denied it repeatedly. Just kidding. He knows Xiao Zhao's temper. If I say the wrong thing, I don't know what will happen when the time comes. So Wang Gaodan told what he did today. What? When Xiao Zhao heard such words, he became a little confused. This is exactly what I thought before, but why? Could it be that? Does Lin Fei really have that much money? But how is this possible? Xiao Zhao could never have imagined such a result. After thinking for a long time, Xiao Zhao spoke. Okay, don't worry about this matter for now. On your side, keep an eye on the situation at Lin Fei's side. Also, when you have nothing to do, go and ask the villagers if there is really any opportunity for us to take advantage of Lin Fei. When the time comes, we must seize it. Okay, Sister Zhao, don't worry, I will have absolutely no problem with my work. After hearing this, Xiao Zhao hung up the phone. Well, Xiao Zhao became melancholy at this time point. This Lin Fei can really act. That's right. Zhao is still thinking that Lin Fei will never have that much money. There must be something fishy in this thinking of this. Zhao became melancholy first. In this way, Zhao silently buried this matter in his heart. Everyone, today, I, Lin Fei, assure you that in the future, this school will recruit students from the whole society, and my purpose and idea is to enable more children to go to school. If there are children who are in difficulty, after our investigation, we will also subsidize all their expenses. I also hope that in the future, SYNOPSIS can become a school that is truly useful and truly considers children. SYNOPSIS charity company will also be established soon. If you have any clues or want to make charitable donations, you can perform relevant operations on the company's official website, and I, Lin Fei, will also face the whole society and seek supervision. In the future, we will move forward with strength. Thank you. Although it was his first time to face the media, Lin Fei's words were extremely sincere. The media members were moved when they heard Lin Fei's sincere words and saw Lin Fei's sincere eyes. Everyone knew that what Lin Fei said was not a lie. However, no one knows what the future will be like, and everyone is full of expectations. Next, He Yun, Huan Fei, Zhang Mao, Yan Liang and others came to the stage to speak. Murong Zhao also came on stage and sang a song, which attracted everyone's cheers. The announcement of this listing ceremony lasted until 4 o'clock. Fortunately, the overall effect is still very good. At least until now, Lin Fei has dealt with every problem with ease. Phew. It's over. Seeing Yan Liang leaving with the media, Lin Fei finally let out a sigh of relief. Lin Fei naturally knew that today's listing ceremony was definitely a great success, because when those big shots came on stage to speak, it was destined that Lin Fei would be extraordinary this time. These people are all very important figures in the entertainment industry. Now, all these people have appeared, which shows Lin Fei's status for a while. Everyone was even more curious about his identity. Is this Lin Fei just a popular singer? I guess he shouldn't be, right? For them, their suspicion of Lin Fei will also be written into this report. I guess this most popular person today will definitely increase their sales again, right? Of course, Lin Fei naturally didn't know all this. Okay, you kid, don't be so polite. Zhang Mao came to Lin Fei and put his arm around Lin Fei's shoulders like a buddy. But don't say that, you kid. Don't forget that you helped me a lot this time. Otherwise, Zhang Mao's eyes were full of excitement. Just now Leo, he told me that your cooking is delicious. Chapter 87. Water friends attack again. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Huan Fei and his group appeared at Lin Fei's side, because Lin Fei's meal was finally ready at this moment. At this time, in the live broadcast room of the Mushroom House, the audience was already confused. Do you have to show off like this? My god, shouldn't it be Teacher Huang who cooks? Why doesn't he cook now? That's right, this is too annoying, right? I want to see the video about Lin Fei. Program crew, can you do it? Can you let us see Lin Fei? I really want to eat a bite of Lin Fei's meal. Just hearing these people's exclamations on the camera, how delicious is it? No more words. I have bought a ticket to Nanayan. Today, I have to see how delicious it is. Wait for me upstairs. Let's go together. For a while, how delicious Lin Fei's meal was became a hot topic. Everyone was extremely curious, but, at least for now, they would not know. Outside the kitchen, there is no glass blocking this side, which is somewhat similar to the kitchen of the Mushroom House. Standing outside, watching Lin Fei dancing with his hands and the kitchen knife flying, it looks extremely gorgeous. And the side dishes prepared by Lin Fei are also coming out of the oven little by little. Smelling the fragrance coming from the stove, Zhang Mao swallowed hard. Zhao Fei's cooking is, now, I really believe it. Let's not talk about how delicious this meal is, just this taste, I can't help but linger. Haha. When He Yun heard this, he laughed out loud. You just know it now? Let me tell you, this is really fragrant. Even if we are next door, we are attracted by Lin Fei's food. Do you know the pain of being able to smell the taste, but not eat it? Yeah, I really know it. I really didn't expect that this kid would have such a good skill. I really admire him. Course not, everyone praised Lin Fei one by one. Lin Fei was listening at the side and his face turned red. Although Lin Fei is confident, he still feels embarrassed when he is said so at this time. For a while, Lin Fei hurriedly spoke, I say, everyone, don't praise me like this, I will be embarrassed. Okay, let's hurry up and serve the food first. The food should be out of the pot. Okay, everyone praised Lin Fei one by one started to get busy when they heard it. When the food was out of the pot and everyone couldn't wait to eat it, everyone's exclamations were transmitted to the live broadcast room. The live broadcast room was about to go berserk. All, thank you for your help. The three of them responded without raising their heads, not wanting to pay any attention to Lin Fei. Looking at everyone's performance, Lin Fei was, why are they all born in the year of the pig? Do you want to not even drink wine for the sake of food? As a result, Zhang Mao and the others ate as much as they wanted in the end, but they didn't drink a single sip of wine. Finally, the meal was over, and Zhang Mao still spoke with some reluctance. It's so comfortable. I've eaten all kinds of delicious food in my life, but to be honest, I've never seen such delicious food before. Ring, ring, ring. At this moment, Zhang Mao's phone rang. Hello. After answering the phone, Zhang Mao said a few words, and finally smiled at this moment. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Mao continued to operate on the phone. Come out, and I have posted it on Weibo. Do you want to help promote it for free? Looking at Zhang Mao's grinning expression, smiled helplessly. This is a free fight, but everyone is familiar with it, and such things are also familiar. So just like that, everyone took out their mobile phones, opened Weibo and started to forward and promote it. For a while, a hot search on the internet about the upcoming release of Jianghu began to rise wildly in popularity. Alas, at this moment, Zhang Mao sighed. After hearing this, He Yun, who was sitting next to him, asked in confusion, what's wrong? Why are you sighing? Hey, hearing this, Zhang Mao pretended to be sorry and said, I'm going back today, and I have to arrange for the actors of our movie to go to various parts of the country for promotion, which can also be regarded as a wave of box office. Isn't this a good thing? Yes. Zhang Mao sighed. But then I won't be able to eat the food made by Lin Fei. You can imagine how uncomfortable I will be at that time. Ha ha ha. Everyone burst into laughter and time passed quickly in such a wonderful atmosphere. Finally, at 8 o'clock in the evening, Lin Fei sent away, and the crew of Zhang Mao also had to take a plane to Yanjing overnight to prepare everyone for publicity. Finally, the tranquility of the night came. After Lin Fei coaxed Lin Yana to sleep, he came to the courtyard and lay leisurely, thinking about his achievements during this period of time. But I don't know, in Hazhou, there is an office building called Starry Sky. There are countless companies here, but on the third floor, few people come. And at such a time, the entire office building almost turned off the lights and went off work. But the people on the third floor are crowded. After walking in, you will find that there are countless computers here, and almost everyone is crowded here. Da da da. To the front, the man shouted with a cigarette in his mouth, looking at the 200 people in front of him. Everyone, stop. Instantly, stopped and turned to look at the man. Seeing this, the man smiled. I received a big order. In a while, everyone will go to Douya.com to give me our everyone Jianghu bad reviews in advance. 2,010,000 reviews per person. Remember, we only have one attack point. That is the 88th palm. Can you please have some shame? And look, how many people on the internet are praising him now? The youngest entrepreneur, the youngest philanthropist, a debut singer with a philanthropic heart. On the way home, Zhang Qiang asked Xiao Zhao beside him with his mobile phone. His face was obviously a little unhappy. Hearing this, Xiao Zhao nodded. It is a blessing, not a disaster, and it is a disaster that cannot be avoided. It seems that, no matter how much he suppresses this matter, he may not be able to do it. So, Xiao Zhao spoke, yes, boss, today's matter was a sure thing, but who would have thought that Lin Fei had no loopholes at all, and we didn't knock out any information at all. Is that so? Zhang Qiang thought about it and finally nodded. It seems that Lin Fei has really grown a lot in the past 3 years. If the next step has not been arranged long ago, it may be really difficult to deal with. By the way, Zhang Qiang thought of something and spoke again and again. I asked you to arrange someone to use this movie to discredit Lin Fei. Have you arranged it? Of course. I have arranged it. Xiao Zhao nodded. Listening to this, Zhang Qiang's frown finally relaxed at this moment. Heh. I don't know what Zhang Mao was thinking. He actually found someone who has never acted to shoot the ending? I'm afraid he has a problem with his brain. Let Zhang Mao know that it's good to stay away from Lin Fei. Don't worry, boss. I have arranged it. Well, not bad. Starry Sky office building. 3rd floor knew this person because of the bad reviews of Lin Fei's new song Point, and then reality slapped them in the face. Point. No one expected that Lin Fei's popularity would be so high. After all, last time, no one expected that 1 million negative reviews would be suppressed by 50 million positive reviews. Even if it wasn't for their 1 million, the final negative reviews would only be 10,000. Such data would never appear in the past. Therefore, everyone was deeply curious about a person like Lin Fei. In front of him, the man spoke. Yes, it's still him. Okay, everyone hurry up and complete it according to the requirements. The task is completed, and each person will receive a bonus of 300 yuan. So high. What are you waiting for? Everyone, get moving. For a while, one person shouted loudly and then started to get busy. When the others heard it, they did the same and started to get busy. Seeing the keyboard tapping sound again, the man finally smiled and then returned to his office. Sneered. Lin Fei, why did you have to offend King Shen Zhang Qiang when you could have offended someone else? But I'm more curious about how you did it. Now, Director Zhang is a good director with both virtue and art. He will retire in a few years. Now he sends out this work, and it actually causes such a thing as you decided to take a rest. For the charity singer Lin Fei on the hot search, and Lin Fei's participation in the movie directed by Zhang Mao, Lin Fei had nothing to say. This is just a small step for him to accumulate fame. In the future, Lin Fei doesn't know how much he will grow, but the future is promising. One night passed just like that. Cooking and eating as usual. Dad, I'm going to play with the kids in the village this afternoon. While eating lunch at noon, Lin Fei smiled when he heard Lin Yana's words. Okay, go play, but remember to come back for dinner in the evening. Okay. Don't worry, Dad. After dinner, Lin Yana left with her bao in her arms. Watching Lin Yana leave, Lin Fei signed in again in his mind. As expected, it was still money. Lin Fei pouted. Can't this system give me some skills? It's okay to bind late, but it didn't appear until 2 years of seclusion. Can't it compensate me now? Dishes and cleaned the yard. He heard the voice of farewell from next door. Looking back in confusion, he saw that Wang Yao and his guests had already said goodbye to the program group. This time, Wang Yao and his team had completed tasks, and the live broadcast effect was also very good for everyone. Teacher Huang, Teacher He, we are leaving. Fei immediately said, damn it. What are you doing? Wang Yao came to Lin Fei's courtyard, and he didn't know what he said to the 3 people around him. He saw that the 3 people had already walked away, and Wang Yao, at this time, pushed the door and walked in with his suitcase. Hearing Lin Fei's words, Wang Yao smiled. Of course I want to stay here. Didn't I tell you before that I will stay here for a few days after the filming here is over? Helpless, you kid just want to eat the food I cook. Do you have to be so shameless? My rice is free. Hey, Wang Yao was helpless when he heard it. I say, how can you talk like that? Don't you know my current identity? I tell you, I'm the person in charge of the construction task of yours in Fei School. If you say that to me, I will be unhappy. You, Lin Fei was full of black lines. 2nd floor, you can choose where to live. Seeing Lin Fei gritting his teeth, but without any anger in his eyes, Wang Yao laughed and walked into Lin Fei's residence. Haha, and next door, He Yun, who saw the situation here, had already laughed. You 2 brothers, you really have a good relationship. I, an old man, am a little envious when I see it. Who has a good relationship with him? Lin Fei curled his lips and continued to clean. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89. Guests arrive. When Suwon's expression. In the pavilion, two handsome men sat opposite each other and drank tea. This scene would definitely make countless fans scream. These two people are Lin Fei and Wang Yao. Listening to Wang Yao's words, Lin Fei spoke. I have some plans. Lin Fei told his plans bit by bit. I plan to look at the progress of our school construction here in the next 2 days, and then I will set off for Yanjing. Oh. Are you going to find Seclusion? Wang Yao spoke unexpectedly. Yes. Of course I have to find him, but it will probably take another week. I still have to study what to do with Yao. Thinking of this, Lin Fei had a headache. You said we go out and run around. We can't take the little girl with us and let her suffer with us, right? Yes, this. I got it. Wang Yao suddenly thought of something, looked at Lin Fei's puzzled expression, and spoke quickly. Zhao Fei, how about this? How about it? You are so naughty. You have learned to tease me now, right? Looking at Wang Yao's look, Lin Fei curled his lips. This Wang Yao's hesitant look made Lin Fei very helpless. I want to eat spicy hot pot tonight. Can let Yao go next door, and then go with teacher Huang and the others. It happens that my sister Zhang Yumeng is still here, so let her take care of Yao every day. Yes. Immediately, Lin Fei slapped his thigh. Wang Yao's method is very feasible. After all, my sister is not big, she just became an adult this year, and she is also a child. If these two are together, Lin Fei will never worry about anything. The most important thing is that my sister is so cute, Yao will definitely like her. Thinking about it, Lin Fei agreed with this idea. Turning his head, he saw Huang Fei and his brother and sister sitting under the pavilion in the courtyard of the mushroom house next door. Without the arrival of guests, they can rarely rest. Looking at the four people, Lin Fei smiled. Teacher Huang and Teacher He, I have something to discuss with you. Oh. Something. Hearing this, Huang Fei stood up. Okay, we'll come over now. No, let's just chat like this. How can that work? How can we talk about things without drinking good tea? Seeing Huang Fei and He Young coming, like they were robbing, Lin Fei was helpless. Well, how about Cheng Cheng and sister come over too? The brother and sister, who were originally surprised, followed closely after hearing it. Go, and get some cups. Lin Fei kicked Wang Yao away. Wang Yao stood up, looking dissatisfied. Damn. Can you have some conscience? You treat your project leader like this. You going or not? Lin Fei rolled his eyes. Do you want to eat hot pot tonight? You win. A minute later, Huang Fei and his four companions arrived, and Wang Yao also brought the washed teacups. Just like that, the 6 people began to drink good tea. After taking a sip of tea, Huang Fei said, Zhao Fei, what do you want to tell me? Actually, I have something to bother you with. Lin Fei smiled and felt a little embarrassed. Teacher Huang, it's like this. I plan to go to Yanjing to do something in about a week, but if so, it will be a little inconvenient to bring Jana, so I thought about sending Jana to you. Okay. Before Lin Fei could say anything else, Huang Fei agreed without hesitation. Isn't this coincidence? I was planning to have my little daughter Yingying come over next week. Now, the two of them will have company. Really? Lin Fei was obviously surprised when he heard this. Huang Fei's little daughter, Huang Yingying, is only a little over 5 years old this year. When the time comes, the two girls will definitely not be lonely together. Looking at Huang Fei, Lin Fei was somewhat grateful. Then, I will place Jana with you, but I still need to trouble my sister to take care of her. That's right, Huang Fei agreed. I plan to let the two girls sleep with my sister, but fortunately, the two little girls are very sensible and will not cause trouble for my sister. It's okay. When the sister heard this, she waved her hands repeatedly. What's the matter? I also want to play with the two little girls. They are so cute and will definitely be well behaved. Well, since everyone has no objection, I will trouble you guys then. Lin Fei smiled and asked everyone to continue drinking tea. Unexpectedly, on the road leading to the mushroom house at the entrance of the village, 2 girls and 1 boy had already walked over. The 3 of them were full of youth. The girl looked pure, the boy was sunny and handsome, and everyone had a smile on their face. The camera on the side of the road just happened to capture the appearance of the 3 people. The live broadcast room's bullet screen was already cheering at this time. Wow. Wen Suwen has appeared. She is so beautiful. Little mosquito, why are you so cute? By the way, aren't the 2 following next to you newly debuted? Aren't they here to set off our little mosquito? Horan, why are you so handsome? My god, just your smile makes me feel in love. Seeing these people appear, the live broadcast room's bullet screen kept brushing likes. All 3 of them are actors. The woman Wen Suwen and the man Horan can be said to be very famous now. Wen Suwen, who debuted for 2 years, has attracted countless fans in the entertainment industry with her youthful face and cheerful personality. And she herself is also an acting girl, starring in many youth idol dramas, as well as some costume dramas. And Horan is also a very famous actor now. Not only does he look sunny and handsome, but he also has superb acting skills. In just this year, Horan has risen like a thunderbolt from the blue sky. In a youth-themed movie, Horan played the second male lead, but he became famous with his handsome appearance and the characterization that completely entered heart. Now, these 2 people can be said to be in their heyday. It is not an exaggeration to say that they are the contemporary young actresses and young handsome men. As for Dami, it can be said that it has spent a lot of money now, and all the popular stars have been invited. The popularity has been rising again and again. But they didn't know that among these 3 people, one of them came prepared. Chapter 90, or thief breaks into the house. Walking on the road, blowing the wind, smelling the fragrance of flowers, Wen Suwen, wearing a cute dress, trotted a few steps, then turned her head to look at the 2 people behind her. Be careful, watch your feet. Looking at Wen Suwen's cute appearance, Horan smiled dotingly. Wen Suwen looks pure, cute and adorable, and Horan, who is 1 year older, treats her like a younger sister. A play before, so it is reasonable to do so now. Hearing Horan's words, Wen Suwen smiled and said with her hands behind her back, no, brother Horan, don't worry, I'm not a child anymore. But, looking around and looking at the beautiful scenery around, Wen Suwen exclaimed, here, it's really beautiful. Yes, the other 2 listened and nodded in the same way. The mountains and waters are beautiful, the people are outstanding, and the place is beautiful, Horan said after exclaiming, let's go quickly, don't let Mr. Huang and the others wait too long. Okay, so, the 3 of them walked forward. Hey, they are there. Not long after walking, they soon saw Huang Fei and the others in the distance. Oh my god, is that Lin Fei? Horan, who had been very calm all the way, got excited when he saw Lin Fei under the pavilion in Lin Fei's courtyard. Brother Horan, what's wrong with you? That should be Lin Fei's, right? Horan silently repeatedly after hearing this. Yes, that's my idol. Your idol? Horan's eyes, the 2 girls around him were stunned. But no one noticed that a hint of hesitation flashed across Wen Suwen's eyes. No one knew what she was thinking. Teacher Huang and Teacher He. Soon, everyone came to the front of the courtyard and shouted. The few people who were drinking tea heard it and turned their heads. Hey, little Liu Horan and little Mosquito are here. He hurriedly stood up to greet them. Huang Fei saw it and stood up with a smile. Looking at Lin Fei, Huang Fei smiled. Let's go and get busy first. Okay, everyone, take care. We'll talk about the past when we have time. Okay. So just like that, Huang and he took the brother and sister away. When they arrived at the door, everyone got familiar with each other, and he invited a few people to walk towards the mushroom house, but no one noticed that 2 people looked a little different at this time. One was Horan. He looked at Lin Fei with eager eyes. How much he wanted to say a few words to Lin Fei to express his fandom. The other person was Wen Suwen. Wen Suwen looked back almost every 3 steps, looking at Lin Fei. her eyes rolling around, and no one knew what she was thinking about. Slurp. After drinking the tea in the cup, Wang Yao spoke. How about it? Do you have anything to do this afternoon? If not, let's go to the construction site and take a look. Okay. Lin Fei agreed directly, and the two got up and walked towards the village entrance. 222. Buzz buzz buzz. From a distance, Lin Fei heard the roar of the machine coming from a distance. Noise is a bit loud. Lin Fei frowned. Such a loud noise was something Lin Fei had not considered, which would obviously directly affect the rest of the villagers, but such a concern was also dispelled by Wang Yao. Don't worry, this is not the first time we have considered it. I have sent people to greet the villagers near the construction site. At the beginning, some of these villagers disagreed, but guess what happened later? What happened? Lin Fei was really curious about this. Wang Yao smiled and said, after that, those people learned that it was your project, and that it was to build a non-profit school, and they agreed to our construction without hesitation. Lin Fei was stunned. These villagers are really. Lin Fei smiled, and smiled happily. Wang Yao continued to talk while walking. Moreover, we also made a relevant request to carry out some noisy construction projects during the day, and try not to do those works at night. In this way, the proportion of construction workers during the day has reached 80%, which is a perfect solution to such a problem. This is the best. Let's go and take a look. The two walked towards the construction site, talking and laughing. For a while, the two handsome men walking on the road attracted the attention of many people. Hey, yours? Yes, it's mine. Not bad. You kid, you are really a good person. Come to Uncle Niu's house when you have time, and Uncle Niu will treat you to dinner. That boy in my family is about to go to junior high school. He will go to school in front of our house. No problem. Zhao Fei, are you still short of people at your construction site? Brother Zhang and I haven't had much to do recently. Look, why don't you let me go to the construction site to move bricks or something? No problem. Brother Zhang, as you said, you can come over at any time. I'll say hello at the construction site later. Okay, let's have it together when we have time. No problem. Seeing Lin Fei greeting the villagers very familiarly, Wang Yao was amazed. I said, you have done well in the past 3 years. You have become the idol of the villagers. Come on, stop flattering me. Talking and laughing, the two began to wander around the construction site. Now, all the engineering teams are in place and everyone is busy in an orderly manner, which makes Lin Fei very satisfied with this. After walking around again and making some comments, Lin Fei went home early. It was already 4 o'clock, and Wang Yao kept asking Lin Fei to go back and prepare the hot pot first, which made Lin Fei very helpless. No, Lin Fei was still muttering as he walked on the road. Damn, it's so shameless. Damn it, you're living here, and you want to eat from me? You're so shameless. While muttering, Lin Fei was not dissatisfied. After all, this was his good brother. However, when Lin Fei returned home and was about to open the door and enter the living room, his hanging hand stopped for an instant. At home, someone, and looking at the footprints, he is an adult. Chapter 91. I advise you not to mess with me. His eyes have always been focused on the footprints at the door. Lin Fei clearly remembered that before he left, no one except Wang Yao had entered his place. And looking at the footprints, it should be left by a woman. That's even more impossible. Lin Fei frowned for a while. He was now thinking, who would come to his place? This matter is very strange. The first thing Lin Fei thought of was Zhang Qiang, alert in his heart. As the saying goes, you must be on guard against others. Lin Fei doesn't think Zhang Qiang will always be honest. Especially now that he has not yet become completely famous. This is also the best time for Zhang Qiang to fight back. Silently, Lin Fei took out his mobile phone. Out of caution, Lin Fei directly selected the recording button and put it in his pocket. This time, Lin Fei chose to be more cautious. Even if this matter was misunderstood by himself, Lin Fei didn't want to make any mistakes. After getting everything done, Lin Fei finally opened the door at this time as expected. When Lin Fei pushed the door open and walked in slowly, he soon saw a woman appear in the living room. Seeing the woman with her back to him, Lin Fei frowned even more because Lin Fei only felt that he had some impression of this woman at this time. It seemed that he had seen her somewhere. Lin Fei was walking forward slowly, but suddenly found that there was a hidden camera under the TV opposite the living room. Camera. After Lin Fei found this, he immediately had a bad premonition in his heart. This woman definitely came prepared. But what exactly is she here for? Lin Fei couldn't figure it out. He was thinking now that he could do it, and he was afraid that he would be able to counter it later. Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Lin Fei finally spoke. As soon as Lin Fei's voice fell, the woman hurriedly stood up. The woman suddenly turned around and looked at Lin Fei with excitement. Are you Lin Fei? It's great. I finally met my idol today. The woman's face was very pretty. When she saw Lin Fei's appearance, she suddenly showed a lively and lovely smile on her face. She was about to rush forward and hug Lin Fei with her hands. Stop. Looking at the woman's posture, Lin Fei did not hesitate and raised his hand to stop the woman. The woman's expression showed a trace of grievance. I just want to hug you to show my love for you. What are you doing? Oh, really? Lin Fei suddenly smiled, silently walked around the woman, and then sat on the chair. Now he finally remembered who this woman was. You are Wen Suan, right? I've heard of you. You are a young actress today. With your lovely face and superb acting skills, you are loved by countless people and are known as the lovely national goddess. Is it you? Silently taking out a cigarette, Lin Fei lit it, and his expression seemed extremely calm. Lin Fei now understood that this woman was definitely well prepared. So what Lin Fei was wondering now was, what tricks did this woman plan to play? Thinking of this, Lin Fei raised his head and looked at Wen Suan with burning eyes, silently waiting for Wen Suan's next move. Wen Suan smiled after hearing what Lin Fei said. Idol. I didn't expect that you actually knew me. This really makes me happy. Do you know how much I have been eager to see you during this period of time? I really like you too much. Idol, let me hug you. As he said this, Wen Suan was about to step forward and hug Lin Fei again. Stop. Just kidding. Lin Fei is not a fool. Now is the internet society. With the rapid development of online public opinion, plus the camera behind him, Lin Fei is now acting very cautiously. Raising his feet, Lin Fei directly stopped Wen Suan, who was about to rush forward. Idol, what are you doing? As your fan, can't I even hug you? Do you want to do this? Do you know that I will be sad if you do this? Really? Ha. Suddenly, Lin Fei laughed. For my fans, there is no problem with hugging them. But what if that person came prepared? What do you mean? Wen Suan was immediately confused. What does this mean? For a moment, Wen Suan's eyes were a little evasive, and he looked at the camera behind Lin Fei. At this time, the camera must be working. Could it be that Lin Fei found out? It shouldn't be. I put it next to my bag. Lin Fei shouldn't be able to find it. It's really too hidden. Thinking in his heart, Wen Suan concluded that Lin Fei didn't find his hidden camera. Looking at Lin Fei, Wen Suan spoke. What are you talking about? Idol. I will be sad if you do this. You obviously don't believe me. I'm still your little fangirl. Are you going to treat me like this? What did I do to you? Looking at Wen Suan, Lin Fei sneered. Since you are a girl, I won't say anything more about you. Go away. Today, I will pretend that you broke into my residence and did such a thing. Lin Fei thought in his heart what tricks this person was going to play. He didn't want to know. Fortunately, Wen Suan didn't cause any bad influence on himself. In this case, just treat it as a small episode in life. But then, Wen Suan's action really annoyed Lin Fei. After hearing what Lin Fei said, Wen Suan's eyes turned. She knew that such a little trick of hers would not fool Lin Fei. If that's the case. Looking at Lin Fei, Wen Suan's emotions slowly brewed, but the action of her hand surprised Lin Fei. This girl is really trying hard. However, looking at Wen Suan's action, Lin Fei's eyes slowly became cold. He now knew Wen Suan's general purpose. Looking at him, Lin Fei spoke coldly. I advise you, it's better to be provoked by me, otherwise. Chapter 92, him again. After all, Lin Fei didn't know what would happen next. If something irreversible really happened, it would definitely bring a lot of trouble to Lin Fei. However, before Lin Fei could say anything, he saw Wen Suwen's crazy behavior. I saw that Wen Suwen had messed up her hair at this time, and the lipstick on her mouth had been also wiped out, leaving traces all over her face. And she was wearing a pink dress at this time, and what was even more unexpected was that Wen Suwen actually slid down the strap on her shoulder. Suddenly, Lin Fei saw something. It was precisely because of this action that Lin Fei said those words. Lin Fei thought that his words could successfully block Wen Suwen's next actions. Never thought. You. What are you going to do? Wen Suwen shouted, glanced at the camera behind Lin Fei, and then rushed towards Lin Fei crazily, and she fell directly towards Lin Fei, covering her chest with her hand. This is, do you want to slander yourself? Lin Fei's reaction could be said to be very fast, and he directly raised his hand to touch Wen Suwen's shoulder. Wen Suwen fell down, and was directly stopped by Lin Fei. Looking at Wen Suwen, Lin Fei's eyes were extremely cold. I advise you, it's best not to do stupid things, otherwise, I will be rude to you. You. Stop it. Don't touch me. On the contrary, Wen Suwen ignored she and still shouted loudly, but the movements of her hands did not stop for a moment. Seeing Wen Suwen's hand grabbing Lin Fei's t-shirt, he was about to take it off. And Wen Suwen's eyes showed fear even more vividly. After feeling Wen Suwen's actions, Lin Fei couldn't help but sneer. Now he finally understood what was going on. Taste point at this time, Lin Fei could be said to be a little angry. Don't you stop? Remember, this is my last warning to you. Lin Fei's voice sounded coldly again. He now has some anger in his heart. However, when Wen Suwen listened to Lin Fei's words, he did not stop at all. Instead, the movements of his hands accelerated a little again. Yeah. In an instant, Lin Fei spit out curse words. Lin Fei was moved and angry. Brush. Woo. Standing up quickly, Lin Fei immediately used his right hand to grab Wen Suwen's neck and lifted him up forcefully. Lin Fei, who is proficient in Chinese martial arts, naturally knows how to make a person lose his strength. Lifting his right arm, Lin Fei's eyes were extremely indifferent, as if he was looking at the most insignificant thing. Seeing that Wen Suwen in front of him was forced to hang 20 centimeters in the air under his control, and it was even more difficult to breathe at this time, Lin Fei's tone was cold. I've reminded you and warned you again and again, but you don't care at all, right? Woo-oh. Wen Suwen obviously didn't expect that Lin Fei would have such great strength, and he would treat him like this at this time. Doesn't he know how to cherish the fragrance and cherish the jade? You looking at Lin Fei, Wen Suwen struggled crazily. What she was thinking now was that Lin Fei might not have noticed some of his tricks, and it was just a stress reaction to his actions just now. However, when Wen Suwen slowly felt that his breathing was becoming more and more difficult, and that his head was getting heavier and heavier, as if he was about to suffocate, Wen Suwen was already surprised in his mind. This Lin Fei, are you going to kill yourself? Woo. At this moment, Wen Suwen wanted to break free from Lin Fei's control, but found that she no longer had much strength. Could it be? Are you really going to die here today? For a moment, Wen Suwen's eyes showed despair and regret. She regretted why I would do such a thing. Now that I'm fine, I'm going to see the King of Hell. However, Lin Fei still did not give Wen Suwen death as a result. Brush. Boom. Lin Fei suddenly let go of his hand, and Wen Suwen immediately fell down and fell onto the chair. Ho. Ho ho. Wen Suwen was breathing heavily. Fei and shouted loudly, what do I do? Lin Fei sneered when he heard this. Your ability to frame people is really amazing. Tell me, who asked you to do it? What? Frame up? What did you say? Wen Suwen looked at Lin Fei with confusion on his face. Around, came to the TV, picked up Wen Suwen's bag, and also picked up the camera on the side. Holding the camera in his hand, Lin Fei played with it with interest, and his words did not stop. Do you think that this little trick can really control me? Then you underestimate me too much, right? Give it back to me. Seeing that Lin Fei actually found this camera, Wen Suwen was anxious and struggled to rush forward. Wen Suwen still felt full of pain. Looking at Wen Suwen's stunned expression, Lin Fei sneered. Don't ***king think that I won't hit you just because you're a woman. Fault. When Suwon was still thinking whether to tell it, but after thinking it over, if he told it, wouldn't that be betraying others? At that time, who knows what his fate will become. So, when Suwon decided to take the responsibility of the matter on himself. However, Lin Fei's next words surprised Wen Suwon, and he still told who had instructed him to do such a thing. And when Lin Fei heard the name, he frowned. It turned out to be him. Chapter 93, Targeted Again. Listening to Wen Suwon's reply, Lin Fei smiled unexpectedly. Okay, since you said that, then I will publish this video online. When the time comes, I will let the fans who like you see what their idol is, what kind of person. You. Why? You are trying to destroy me. Wen Suwon suddenly became anxious. How could Lin Fei do this? On the contrary, Lin Fei smiled, very happily. Properly? You were obviously the one causing trouble from the beginning to the end. Why? In the end, you didn't allow me to fight back. This. Wen Suwon was not a fool. She naturally knew what Lin Fei meant by what he said. Feeling the burning pain on his cheek, and thinking about the consequences he might face, Wen Suwon came up with a plan. Wen Suwon slowly lifted up her shoulder straps, and looked at Lin Fei acting coquettishly. Brother. Lin Fei. Why are you like this? I just did a few small things wrong, so don't be angry, okay? Shut up. Lin Fei obviously did not give Wen Suwon such a chance. Poor people must be hateful. Now, at least you haven't done anything more serious. That's why I'm talking to you here. I advise you to tell who it is. Otherwise, Wen Suwon will probably be reported to the police tomorrow if he breaks into a private house to direct and perform a play that slanders others. Wen Suwon panicked. She looked at Lin Fei and knew clearly that Lin Fei was definitely not joking with her. Could it be that? Aren't you going to say it yet? Lin Fei was so intense that he had no intention of giving Wen Suwon any time to continue thinking. Okay, go ahead. I don't want to know the answer anymore. I'll wait until my reputation is ruined tomorrow. Brush. After speaking, Lin Fei directly threw Wen Suwon's bag out. Seeing that Lin Fei had no intention of paying attention to him anymore, Wen Suwon finally gritted his teeth. She is now thinking that, since her reputation has been ruined, she might as well be kicked out, right? So, holding the bag and standing up, Wen Suwon spoke. Mr. Lin, I'm sorry. This time, I know it's my fault. I'll tell you who instigated me, and I hope you can spare me. I will bear the consequences of this matter alone. On the contrary, Lin Fei didn't pay attention to her thoughts at all, and just smoked indifferently. Seeing this, Wen Suwon suddenly felt like he had nowhere to go. After a long time, Wen Suwon sighed and spoke with dark eyes. Zhang Qiang asked me to do it. I'm an artist from Kingshan Entertainment. Mr. Lin. Goodbye. While talking, Wen Suwon left here as if running away, and left directly from the small door. She didn't dare to leave through the front door, thinking about what happened to Zheng Zhu in his company. Wen Suwon knew about it. Wasn't that what happened because of Lin Fei? Wen Suwon thought that if he went out through the main entrance, the sharp-eyed spectators would definitely notice him. If this matter spreads on the internet, God knows whether Lin Fei will release the evidence in the future. At that time, I will not be able to clear myself up no matter what. Wen Suwon just left like this, and such a storm was solved so easily. In the end, Wen Suwon suffered the pain of almost suffocating to death, and even said that she would have to bear the company's anger, which was even worse. Looking at Lin Fei, he was frowning and smoking. It's this grandson again. Yes. Lin Fei was very angry, but it felt like a fist hitting cotton. Lin Fei didn't expect that Zhang Qiang was really merciless to him and never missed an opportunity to slander him. The good thing is that so far, Lin Fei has solved it very well. What makes Lin Fei helpless is that with his current strength, there is no way to fight against him. Even if he had the system, Lin Fei had no way to get anything substantial from it that could defeat Zhang Qiang. Everything requires your own operation and hard work to rise from it. Thinking in his heart, Lin Fei secretly made a decision. It seems that he needs to speed up his growth, otherwise, God knows whether Zhang Qiang will get worse in the future. Without strength, everything is in vain. After making up his mind, Lin Fei put away the camera and started to prepare dinner. Soon, the time came to 5:30, and Lin Yao and Wang Yao came back one after another. Seeing Lin Yao happily sharing this afternoon's play with him, Lin Fei listened tenderly. After listening to what he said, Lin Fei smiled softly. "Ah, Yao is the best. Go wash your hands quickly. We will eat in a while." "Good." With a smile, Lin Yao went to wash her hands. Watching him leave, words rang out from Lin Fei's mouth. "Tell me, what happened? You looked very bad from the moment you came in. If you didn't know, you would have thought something big had happened. Isn't it a big deal?" Wang Yao frowned. "Don't you know what's happening on the internet now?" "I'm not paying attention." Hearing this, Lin Fei stopped, took out his mobile phone and opened Weibo. Film review website in Languo today is also a website where some professional film critics are located. And here, a new rule has recently been introduced. That is, you can comment in advance after the trailer of the movie comes out. When these reviews come out, some viewers can also learn about everyone's reviews in advance. It can be said that this is an approach that benefits both. Some people will decide to watch such a movie because of some good reviews in advance. Similarly, some people will choose to give up watching the movie because of some bad reviews recently. Director Zhang Mao's work Our Rivers and Lakes is also being previewed on Beansprouts Point only. Lin Fei saw the data released by Douyin Point as of 6 o'clock this morning. The pre-review has been going on for 12 hours, with 300,000 positive reviews and negative reviews. It has reached a terrifying 2.5 million. And what surprised them the most was that among them, there were a total of 2 million negative reviews surrounding one person point. After seeing the official data released, Lin Fei didn't know what he was thinking point after a long time. Lin Fei still smiled bitterly. "What the hell? Why are you targeting me again? Is Zhang Qiang not done yet?" Chapter 94. Great accumulation will eventually prove itself. That's right, Director Zhang. Now that you have gained both fame and fortune, can you do whatever you want? Why did you choose Lin Fei to play such a role? Antics. Look at the scene in the trailer, where Lin Fei appears. Oh, are you wearing a mask because you can't manage your facial expressions well? You've caused a lot of trouble for Director Zhang. Lin Fei, this time, you really did something wrong. Let me just say this, I will never watch your movie. Looking at the negative reviews at the top of the list, each one directed at himself, Lin Fei felt bad. I remember, when I released that new song, I was attacked by a million fans with bad reviews, and now, the trailer of the new movie has been released, and it has been attacked by 2 million negative reviews? What about next time? Lin Fei didn't know. But obviously, for Lin Fei, such an incident had a great impact on him. Thinking about it, Lin Fei was wondering, how should he fight back? He is very worried. At present, no one will come to help him fight back, right? After all, this movie has not been released, and everything is just a word from. In fact, what Lin Fei is most worried about is whether being targeted like this will affect Zhang Mao's box office sales. If it was really affected, then I was probably doing a disservice. For such a sinner-like character, Lin Fei will regret it for a long time. Xiao Yao, please bring the things up first. I'll call Director Zhang. Good. As Lin Fei's friend for many years, Wang Yao naturally knew Lin Fei's current mood. The pavilion point. Lin Fei, on the other hand, came to the side and picked up his mobile phone. Lin Fei found Zhang Mao's phone number and dialed it. Soon, the call was connected. Over there, Zhang Mao seemed to be having a meal, and it sounded very lively on the phone. Hello, Xiao Fei, good evening. Have you eaten? Listening to Zhang Mao's greetings, Lin Fei smiled bitterly. If you are already feeling so uncomfortable, why is Zhang Mao still acting like nothing is wrong? Thinking about it, Lin Fei asked aloud. I'm talking to Director Zhang. Don't you still know what's going on the internet? Oh. Are you talking about the more than 2 million negative reviews online? Yeah. Director Zhang. Lin Fei was about to explain something, but he heard Zhang Mao speak directly. Hey. I thought it was something. Is this a big deal? Huh? This, Lin Fei was a little confused. Director Zhang, isn't this a big deal? This will greatly affect the box office of our movie. I'm really sorry, but it's me who has affected our movie. Alas, Lin Fei felt very guilty, and his tone was full of regret. When Zhang Mao heard this, he immediately smiled. Okay, Xiao Fei, you don't need to say this. Let me tell you, this kind of thing has happened to me 9 times, if not 10 times. I have long been used to it. In the beginning, I might have been similar to you, and I understand your feelings, but so what? Does a movie's praise depend on some rumors? Obviously not. Zhang Mao was slowly enlightening Lin Fei. For me, I'm very optimistic about this movie, especially your final performance, which is the finishing touch. Therefore, I'm not worried about the box office sales of this movie at all. Let me give you a message. What? Words? Lin Fei felt warm in his heart and asked subconsciously. Zhang Mao's words echoed word by word. The quality of the work has nothing to do with the reviews. Accumulation will prove it. Director Zhang, come and have a drink. You didn't drink last time. Drink more this time. Hey, it's coming. It's coming. Someone on the other end of the phone called Zhang Mao to go have a drink. After hearing this, Zhang Mao agreed repeatedly. Xiao Fei, I won't talk to you for now. Don't worry. I have a hunch that your kid will be the one who gets the best reviews for this movie. I'll get to work first. Do you want to be so unconcerned about this hair? But, after thinking for a long time, Lin Fei finally came to his senses. In fact, this is ultimately Zhang Mao's confidence in himself. Lin Fei suddenly realized, after thinking about it. Are you a little too worried? After all, those bad reviews are just bad reviews in the end. The good side will definitely set the pace. And Lin Fei naturally believed in his acting skills. The system gave me acting proficiency, so naturally it wasn't given casually. I dare not say anything else, but Lin Fei is absolutely confident in his acting skills. Hey, that's a bit unfounded. Lin Fei smiled and watched Wang Yao finish everything, and then walked over to prepare for dinner. Seeing Lin Fei coming, with a smile on his face, Wang Yao also smiled. Have you finished talking? Yes, we have finished talking. Hi, what is there to worry about? The movie hasn't been released yet. I believe that, when it is released, the audience's eyes will be sharp. Well said. Yao praised, with a smile in his eyes. It's good that you can think it through. I was just regretting that it was a wrong decision to tell you about this. Now it's good. It's best that you don't feel bad because of it. Let's not talk about this. Lin Fei turned his head and looked at the villa. Jia, come to eat. Here, come. Arms. The 3 of them sat down and started eating. The base of the hot pot was completely fried by Lin Fei himself. It was already heated at this time. The fragrance made the people next door drool. Looking at the food in front of them, they sighed repeatedly. And Lin Fei was unaware of this, and was eating very happily. And soon, bursts of laughter came from next door, which made Lin Fei confused here. Chapter 95. Poor box office? Lin Fei wondered. Lin Fei knew that his new song would definitely be liked by some people. But, to the extent of being a fanboy, it shouldn't be that serious, right? Hyun responded immediately after hearing this. Yes, it's your fanboy. Haha, he is simply obsessed with your songs, so, I'll let him go. Okay. Lin Fei responded. Soon, Lin Fei saw a figure walking towards him next door. More curious, who is his fanboy? Looking at the barrage again, he also laughed at this time. Oh my god, I didn't expect that he is actually Lin Fei's fanboy. Haha, this time I found that I'm not alone. It turns out that celebrities are also people and have their own idols. What does this show? This shows how powerful Lin Fei's charm is. I really admire him. No wonder people like him. Lin Fei's songs are really good. God knows how many times I have listened to them in the past few days. Now, Lin Fei's songs have been on the top of the charts for a long time. Not long after, Lin Fei saw someone coming. Hi, it's Horan. Seeing this person appear, Wang Yao laughed. This kid is our junior, 2 years later than us. He has very good academic performance and looks sunny and handsome. Until now, he has countless works. He is now a popular young man. Oh. It's a junior. Lin Fei also smiled when he heard this. Really small. Such coincidences have appeared. Idol, can I come in? Standing outside the door, Horan looked a little embarrassed at this time, looking at Lin Fei and asking nervously, "Hey, of course you can. Come in and have something to eat together." Lin Fei hurriedly stood up to greet him. Horan listened, opened the gate with excitement and walked in. "Oh my god, I finally met my idol today." Seeing Lin Fei coming, Horan hurried forward. Looking at Horan's polite appearance, Lin Fei was a little uncomfortable for a while. This is simply too enthusiastic. Inviting him to sit down, Horan put his hands on his knees at this time, looking extremely nervous. Seeing this, Lin Fei was helpless, and Wang Yao also patted his shoulder. "I say Junior, why are you so nervous? You are a star after all. Why are you so nervous about chasing stars? You are nervous. This is just your senior." "Ah, this is my senior?" Horan didn't know Lin Fei's past, and he was surprised when he heard it. "That's right, Lin." Fei smiled. "Zhao and I both graduated from Hazhou Drama Academy 2 years earlier than you. Isn't he your senior?" "Ah, really?" Horan was surprised when he heard it. "Come on, let's eat first, Lin." Fei invited Horan to eat hot pot. Finally, relying on Lin Fei's relationship and Lin Fei's enthusiasm, Horan's nervousness finally dissipated slowly. After a while, the four of them were full and satisfied. Looking at Lin Fei, Horan spoke, "Idol. No senior, you don't know your new song, but I was obsessed with it. It's really beautiful." As he said, Horan's eyes were full of expectations. "Idol, when are you going to release your next song? I can't wait to listen to it." Lin Fei was obviously stunned. This kid, is he so impatient? Thinking, Lin Fei spoke, "Maybe it will take some time. Songs need inspiration and time to settle." For Lin Fei, he has no shortage of songs. In the past, Lin Fei wanted to enter the music scene with his memory. But unfortunately, Lin Fei, who was born tone deaf, couldn't do it this way. But there is always a way out. Luckily, Lin Fei later gained singing proficiency by signing in with the system, which gave Lin Fei more hope for his own development. So, Lin Fei entered the music scene at such a late time. But Lin Fei also knows how to take things slow. When those who like him are looking forward to it, it is time for him to release new songs. So, Lin Fei gave such a reply. Hearing this, Horan didn't know why. His eyes were a little disappointed, but he still nervously took out a small book from his pocket. Senior, can you sign for me?" "Of course, otherwise, let's sign for each other. To be honest, I also like the drama you starred in." "Really?" Lin Fei's words immediately dispelled the nervousness in Horan's heart. I didn't expect that Lin Fei actually liked his work. In this way, with Wang Yao, the three of them signed for each other, and the atmosphere was very good for a while. Not long after, Horan left here. This is just a small episode in Lin Fei's life. Time passed slowly like this. Wang Yao ate and drank for a whole week at Lin Fei's home, and did nothing every day, so Lin Fei had nothing to say. And the time for Lin Fei and Wang Yao to leave here and go to Yanjing was getting closer and closer. After all, the progress on the construction site was very fast, and Lin Fei thought that he really couldn't shirk it. Besides, Lin Fei also needs to push things forward this morning, so that he can take the next step with more confidence and stability. Besides, the check-ins these days have made Lin Fei very helpless. It's all money. The appearance of no skills again made Lin Fei have serious doubts about his European energy. The next day, when he got up early in the morning, Lin Fei was making breakfast as usual. Not long after, Wang Yao came out, holding Haki in his arms. Looking at Lin Fei, Wang Yao obviously didn't look very good. After thinking for a moment, he finally spoke. "Da Fei, director Zhang's movie, the sales on the first day were really not very good." How many?" "Only 6 million. Listening to Wang Yao's words, Lin Fei frowned and thought, if it's 6 million, based on the average ticket price, that means only a few 100,000 people went to watch it. Yes, Lin Fei's mood suddenly hit rock bottom. Although it was said that Lin Fei calmed down after being enlightened by Zhang Mao a week ago. But when the movie was officially released yesterday, Lin Fei still felt nervous because of the box office data. He was worried about what the final result would be. Now it seems the box office was miserable. According to this situation, even the tens of millions of investment costs cannot be earned back. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96, A New Hope emerges from the darkness. Alas. In the courtyard, Lin Fei and Wang Yao sat on chairs, the former with a sad face. He never expected that such a result would occur. He never expected that the negative comments from those water friends would have such a result. Zhang Qiang, you are really sinister. This is Lin Fei's only thought at this time. He never expected that Zhang Qiang would think so badly of him, didn't expect that such a result would occur now. As the saying goes, one wrong move will lead to failure at every step. After thinking for a long time, Lin Fei took out his mobile phone. He thought about communicating with Zhang Mao about what to do. If it doesn't work, he can also pay to buy some water friends to brush comments. With the increase and decrease of one, it should be able to make up for some box office. As a result, at this moment, Wang Yao beside spoke him. Daffy, there is a turnaround. What? Hearing this, Lin Fei reacted immediately. What does it mean? Could it be that Zhang Mao has already made a move in advance? Hearing Wang Yao's words, Lin Fei hurried over. Wang Yao opened his Weibo at this time, and a hot search named Lin Fei's acting skills are explosive appeared on it. Weibo. It was a well-known Big V's Weibo. This Big V has more than 10 million fans and has great authority in the film review industry. Many people still believe in his words. And the most important thing is that this Big V will never deliberately tell lies because of other people's identities or money. This is a famous person. To watch the latest movie of our famous director Zhang Mao this time. To be honest, at the beginning, I saw so many bad reviews on Douyin, and I was still wondering how these people gave such bad reviews. I'm sorry to accept these people's bad reviews. Of course, for a movie, there are always some remarkable places. In this film, the acting skills of Mireng Zhao and Li Xingxin, to be honest, have grown at a speed that surprised me compared with the previous ones. Everyone, if you like to watch love, hate, and revenge, this film will definitely not disappoint you. As for Lin Fei's performance, I just want to say that, although his role is small, it is indispensable, and the finishing touch is not enough to describe his importance. If you really want to see how a young actor conquers your entire heart with a 3-minute clip, this film should not be missed. In conclusion, the movie is remarkable and Lin Fei's acting skills are explosive. Seeing such a Weibo, Lin Fei was puzzled. Did director Zhang invite him? Damn, why is it so obvious to praise him? No, Wang Yao directly rejected Lin Fei's words. Success and failure is a well-known big shot on Weibo. His comments are extremely sharp, and he never accepts money from anyone. He does things his own way. Besides, don't you know your acting skills? Your acting skills are obviously master level. It is definitely not easy for him to say so. This, Lin Fei didn't know much about the film critics. When he heard Wang Yao say this, he realized that this person had such a great influence and popularity. Look at the comments and likes below. Comments. Lin Fei listened, swiped the screen, and looked at the comments below. Seeing that the number of comments reached more than 300,000, such a data was enough to surprise Lin Fei. And Lin Fei didn't expect that his ending shot would attract so much attention. Opening the comments, when he saw those comments, Lin Fei suddenly smiled. Brother Cheng said it so accurately. Performance is simply explosive in my heart. Damn. I have never seen such amazing acting skills in my life. That luck and draw almost suffocated me in the cinema. Oh my god. Director Zhang, how did you find such a talent? Damn, I'm really impressed by his acting skills. I watched this movie yesterday, and I'm still thinking about how Lin Fei was finally killed because of Li Xingxin's death. The roaring situation. I can't bear it anymore. I want to watch it again. Group. Buy movie tickets. I'm going to take my classmates to watch it today. If I don't watch this movie a few more times, I might really have trouble sleeping all night. Seeing you say that, I'm really curious. The online reviews were so bad before, it seems that I really can't believe it. Wait for me, I'm going to watch it now. No more talking, I'm already in the cinema. I want to watch such a movie with a critical eye. Lin Fei swiped one by one, and almost everyone was surprised by his acting skills. Seeing that all the people below were saying that they hadn't seen the movie and were going to watch it, and those who had seen it were reminiscing about it, Lin Fei's mood could be said to have changed from cloudy to sunny point for a moment. Lin Fei laughed, and laughed very happily, a little unconvinced, and he exited this Weibo post doubtfully and continued to check other people's Weibo posts. What he saw was one Weibo movie reviewer after another, and expressed their own opinions on the movie. Among them, there are 2 points that are exactly the same for everyone. One is the progress of Mirren Zio and Lee Xingxin in their bold attempts at such a role. The second is that they are full of shock and expectation for Lin Fei's explosive acting skills. Seeing this, Lin Fei laughed. Point as the saying goes, there is always a bright future after a dark period. At this time, he really understood the meaning of this sentence. Point I thought that Zhang Qiang's suppression would eventually affect the data of the entire movie. Point, but I didn't expect that this reversal would come like this. Chapter 97, A World of Difference. Now, I just need to wait for them to come back and once again increase the popularity on the internet. Point little did they know that at this time, major theaters across the country were already exploding. Point Yanjing. Inside Yika's cinema. Point in the general manager's office, Liu Dong was sitting on the office chair looking at the computer in front of him. Point various data are displayed above, all of which are data on the number of movie plays in recent days. Must be related to Lin Fei, who is at the center of the criticism. However, there has been some recovery today. Calculated in equal proportions, it is only noon now, and the increase has already reached 40%. It is very good, but I don't know what the data will be like in the future. As an old leader here for many years, Liu Dong has his own judgments and opinions on data. Point at this time, Liu Dong had already seen through such a piece of data. Ugh, it's time to have lunch. Liu Dong looked at the time. It was almost 12 o'clock. Thinking about it, he got up and prepared to go outside to eat something. Dong dong dong. As soon as he arrived at the door, Liu Dong heard a rapid knock on the door. Hearing this, Liu Dong was confused, opened the door, stood up and saw his secretary standing here. Liu, I think we should speed up our Jianghu now. What's the meaning? Liu Dong expressed doubts. You know, Yika Cinema is a very large cinema in Yanjing. There are dozens of movie halls in the cinema, with about 10,000 seats. Today, Liu Dong released Jianghu for 6 time periods and a total of 18 slots, with a total of nearly 10,000 votes. And this is about the same time as yesterday. Point yesterday, even though there were so many stalls, there were only more than 3,000 sales, which made Liu Dong very depressed. But out of confidence in Zhang Mao's movies, Liu Dong still plans to do this today. Now his secretary told him that he would come to increase his schedule. What does it mean? So, I only heard Secretary Zhu speak. Mr. Liu, it's like this. In the past 3 hours, all the more than 13,000 tickets for our world were sold out today. But now, there are still hundreds of people in the waiting area of our cinema. People are queuing up and clamoring to see it. What? How come it was sold out all of a sudden? Liu Dong obviously didn't react for a while. His expression was full of surprise. But, this is not over yet. Zio Zhu continued to speak. Mr. Liu, this is not over yet. We have just started to push for tickets online. Now the number of reminder tickets has reached 5,000. At the same time, the number of phone bookings and ticket reminders has also reached 2,000. We really need it now. It's up so much. When Liu Dong heard such data, he immediately turned around, returned to his seat, and turned on the computer directly. This kind of data is something Liu Dong has never paid attention to, and soon, when Liu Dong saw that the number of ticket reminders on the ticket booking website had reached 7,000, he smiled instantly. Dong was still thinking of a way to deal with it. This way. Zio Zhu, you go and adjust the schedule of other movies right now. Our world will close until 2 o'clock in the morning. Give me an additional 30,000 tickets. 30,000. When Zio Zhu heard this, he was obviously taken aback. Mr. Liu, is this too much? Zao. Zhu was originally thinking of asking Liu Dong for 15,000 votes, but unexpectedly, Liu Dong gave so many votes all at once. Isn't this too much? Looking at Liu Dong again, he shook his head and smiled calmly. You still don't understand. Just do as I say. Also, be prepared to release 100,000 tickets tomorrow. Hiss. 10. 100,000? Seeing Secretary Zhu's exclamation, Liu Dong didn't say anything, just waved his hand indifferently watching Secretary Zhu leave. He was extremely curious now. What was going on? Why was there such a big contrast in the box office the next day? Therefore, Liu Dong decided to go to the ticketing department to see what was going on. Just like that, Liu Dong went downstairs and came to the ticket hall on the first floor. Liu Dong was really surprised when he saw the long queue here, and the staff promptly informed everyone that the movie would be rescheduled and there were a lot of tickets left. After thinking for a long time, he finally stepped forward. Looking at a man at a party, Liu Dong asked, "Young man, are you here to see director Zhang's movie?" "Yes." The man nodded as he listened. Liu Dong continued to ask, "The sales of this movie were not very good yesterday. Why do so many people suddenly come today? Do you know? Those who have seen the movie found that this movie is simply amazing. Especially everyone will say that Lin Fei's acting skills are explosive. After seeing it, you will definitely want to watch it again. So I'm curious and plan to come and see it. No matter whether it is good or bad, I'm mainly curious. Hey, where are you going?" Just when he was about to say something about his predictions about the movie, the man saw Liu Dong leaving. Looking at Liu Dong again, he asked many people and got almost the same answers, and some people who have already seen it said that they could not forget the last shot of Lin Fei and wanted to watch it again, which made Liu Dong even more confused. Who is this Lin Fei? As the person in charge of the support, Liu Dong is very familiar with some stars, even the new generation of stars. In addition, when Zhang Mao's movie just started shooting, Liu Dong also paid attention to the actors. But this Lin Fei, no. I want to go and see it too. I want to see what kind of magic this movie has. After saying that, Liu Dong didn't plan to go out for dinner and directly asked Secretary Zhu to order takeout for him and send the movie disc to his office. This scene not only appeared in Yaka Cinema, but also in 80% of the cinemas across the country, where tickets were hard to come by. Chapter 98, Heading to Yanjing. Today, according to reliable information, it is difficult to get a ticket for director Zhang Mao's new movie Our World here. Since noon, the number of people urging for tickets has reached 10,000, which is enough to see the popularity of this film. Hot. After that, Yaka Cinema added another 30,000 tickets in time, but they were all sold out in just 1 hour. Even the early morning slots were full. Just 1 minute ago, the 12 o'clock movie just finished playing. Now, let's interview some viewers after watching it to see what they think of the movie. With that said, Zhu Minggai walked forward with the cameraman. Arriving at the entrance of the cinema, Zhu Minggai walked up directly as she watched the endless stream of audiences coming out. "Hello." After stopping a man, Zhu Minggai asked with a smile. "Hello, I'm a reporter from the Film Critic Network. I would like to ask your opinion on the movie Our Movie World View." When the man heard Zhu Minggai's words, his expression suddenly became excited. "You really asked the right person this question. Let me tell you, Lin Fei's acting skills in this movie are simply amazing. I haven't completely come out of it yet. This Lin Fei really so handsome. Yes, I'm a man. If I were a woman, I would definitely confess to him." Well, seeing the man leave like this full of aftertaste, Zhu Minggai was stunned for a moment. "Why don't you continue talking? I haven't finished asking yet." And soon, Zhu Minggai saw a woman coming out again and hurriedly stepped forward to ask, "Miss, what do you think of the movie Our World?" Upon hearing this, the woman instantly became excited. "Wow, Lin Fei is so handsome. I thought Lin Fei's singing ability was enough to conquer countless people, but I didn't expect that his acting skills also completely conquered me." Well, seeing that the young lady did not leave, Zhu Minggai continued to ask, "Then, little sister, what do you think of other people's acting skills and plots?" "Others? Didn't see much. Hey, I thought you wanted to ask Lin Fei, but if you don't ask, forget it. With that said, the woman ignored zooming guy and left. Fei's acting skills are so explosive. By coincidence, I have booked a ticket for the movie at 4 o'clock. I will enter first. Farewell. Photographer, alone and messy in the wind. Equally messy were Lin Fei and Wang Yao in Maniuan village. At this time, the two of them saw such a video report that was also uploaded to Weibo, and they were already laughing. Lin Fei said, "Can it be said that my acting skills really exploded like this?" Wang Yao pouted, "Let's save some face. This is the first time I've seen someone as shameless as you." But Wang Yao smiled, "I'm really curious about what kind of results the box office will achieve today and tomorrow." Damn. Fei, are you relieved now? We should prepare to leave for Yanjing. Hearing Wang Yao's words, Lin Fei nodded. Well, let's set off tomorrow. You can't go back to your kid's band. Now at the construction site, the relevant person in charge is also here, so you don't need to do it yourself. Okay, how about we eat something good tonight? Depend on Lin Fei raised his middle finger in disdain point, but he still prepared a rich meal for Wang Yao in the evening point. Just like that, Lin Fei's mood turned from cloudy to clear, and time passed by like this. Little did he know that the people in charge of those theaters were already very busy that night. Boss, our demand for votes has now reached 50,000, and we have only issued 30,000 votes for tomorrow. General Manager, we have temporarily expanded the number of seats, but it is not enough now. There are still many people queuing outside. What should we do now? At Chiaka Cinema, Liu Dong was sitting in the office, listening to his secretary's report. It was already 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. Logically speaking, the two of them should have gone home to chat with Duke Zhao, but they never thought that the box office data exploded and kept the two of them busy. 5,000 stools immediately, and put them in all the broadcast halls for me tomorrow. In addition, suppress all other movie schedules for me. Other movies will be shown tomorrow at 12 noon. Only one slot will be given to each movie. The remaining slots will all be given to director Zhang's Our World. The tickets will be released to the tune of 150,000. 150,000. Secretary Zhu was obviously stunned when he heard such numbers. Mr. Liu, is this too much? Not much, Liu. Dong waved his hand with a smile on his face. I'm worried that this is not enough. You also watched the movie yesterday. You must also know about the outstanding performance in it. Moreover, I have not forgotten Lin Fei's performance to this day. Now, the internet is talking about Lin Fei's acting skills, so this kind of popularity will only continue to rise, not fall. According to my estimation, we may be like this for the next week, and tomorrow's box office will rise, and the day after tomorrow. I estimate that there will be explosive data. Okay, I will arrange it overnight. Well, you have worked hard. After this period of time is over, I will give you a long vacation, and have a good rest. Hearing Liu Dong's words, Secretary Zhu smiled and started to get busy. This scene appeared in many movie theaters, and time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye, the next day came like this. The next day, Lin Fei got up early, and after having breakfast, he called Huang Fei Point and his sister Zhang Yumeng, and Huang Fei's daughter Huang Yingying also came over. Sister Yingying, Sister Yumeng, good morning. Seeing the two sisters coming, Lin Yao jumped up. The three sisters soon played together. Teacher Huang, then I'll leave Jia in your care. Well, don't worry, I will definitely treat her like my own daughter. Okay. Hearing this, Lin Fei finally felt relieved. Although Lin Jia was very reluctant to see Lin Fei leave, such a sensible little girl still watched Lin Fei leave with tears in her eyes without shedding them. Finally, Lin Fei and Wang Yao got on the car to the airport. The destination, Yanjing. Chapter 99, Data Explosion. It's getting better. Looking at the box office data displayed on the phone, Lin Fei laughed and was in a good mood. On the side, Wang Yao also nodded in agreement. On the webpage, it was shown that the box office number yesterday reached a terrifying 70 million. That is to say, tens of millions of viewers went to see the movie, and such a data instantly topped the list in the non-box office season in May. Seeing this, Lin Fei smiled. It's good now. I finally didn't cause trouble for Director Zhang. Otherwise, I guess I would become a sinner for all eternity. Hi. Wang Yao on the side smiled comfortingly. You kid, it's easy to think too much. Don't think too much. There is a saying that gold will always shine, and I guess that tomorrow, your box office data will definitely explode. Oh. Why? Lin Fei was puzzled by this reason. By the way, my father said that you should come to my house tonight, have dinner tonight, and sleep at my house for one night. Tomorrow I will ask you about Sikanu's location, and then you can go by yourself. Our boy group has a performance recently, and I should go to prepare for it. Okay, then I will bother you tonight. What the hell? Why didn't you tell me that I stayed at your house these days? Now you are being polite to me. Hey, the two of them were obviously happy because of the recovery of today's box office data point, so they got on the plane and went to Yanjing. After a long wait, the two finally arrived at Yanjing airport at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Master. After leaving the airport, they heard outside calling Wang Yao. Hey, isn't this Kao Bo? From a distance, Lin Fei saw the man waving change from a gentle and refined man to a grey-haired man now. It is really admirable. Well, but I haven't seen Uncle Kao for a few years. Uncle Kao, whose original name is Kao Binchen, is Wang Zunming's early partner. After Wang Zunming achieved some success, in order to make Kao Binchen less tired, he gave him such a job to enjoy his old age. Smiling, the two walked forward. Uncle Kao, good afternoon. Lin Fei waved his hand and greeted him. Hearing this, Kao Binchen walked forward with a haha. Zhao Fei, I haven't seen you for a while, and I miss you a little bit. Hearing this, Lin Fei smiled. What Uncle Kao said was my fault. I will come to see Uncle Kao often in the future. Haha. Okay, come on, both of you, let's get in the car. The master has been waiting for a long time at home. Okay. After getting in the car, the two of them headed for Wang's Smile Manor. Wang's Manor is located in the suburbs of Yanjing. The entire manor covers an extremely large area point, and almost all the people in the Wang family live here. After arriving at the gate of the manor, after a careful inspection, the car drove in. After driving inside for a long time, the group arrived at the door of a villa. After getting out of the car and looking at Kao Binchen, Wang Yao spoke. Uncle Kao, please clean up my room later and ask the kitchen to prepare some wine and food for me. Daffy and I will have a good drink in the evening. Now, after explaining it, Wang Yao and Lin Fei walked towards the villa. Knock, 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 come in. After knocking on the door, a response came from inside, and the two pushed the door open and entered. The villa was extremely clean, and a fragrant sandalwood scent came. When I walked in, I saw a man sitting on the sofa in the living room. The man looked about 50 years old, and the wrinkles on his face showed his old age. The man was holding a newspaper in his hand and reading it, and his eyes were shining, which made people feel majestic. Daffy and I are here. Yes, this man is Wang Zunming. Wang Zunming heard this and slowly raised his head. Looking at Lin Fei, Wang Zunming laughed. Haha, Zhao Fei is here. Hey, you said that we haven't seen each other for 3 or 4 years. Where have you been all these years? Uncle, I'm really curious. Haha, Uncle Wang, I'm sorry for not coming for a long time. A little gift, and I hope you like it. Lin Fei handed over the expensive gift in his hand, while joking. This gift cost Lin Fei tens of thousands of dollars. After all, it would be unreasonable to visit without giving some gifts. Looking at Wang Zunming again, he immediately waved his hand when he saw him. Hey. Everyone was busy talking and laughing. And Lin Fei and Wang Zunming also had a lot of conversations about the projects currently under construction. In this way, dinner was served soon, and everyone sat down and chatted and laughed. The meal lasted until 9 o'clock in the evening. After eating and drinking, Lin Fei and Wang Yao left. Walking on the way to Wang Yao's residence, Lin Fei smiled. Uncle Wang's drinking capacity is still the same as it was in the past. Hi. However, he has restrained himself in recent years. After all, the doctor also said that his liver is not very good and he needs to drink less. So that's how it is. The two chatted and laughed and soon came to Wang Yao's residence. Looking at the wine and food placed in the living room, The two smiled at each other and continued to drink. This drink was really drunk, and the two fell asleep on the sofa. The next day, it was not until 10 o'clock in the morning that Lin Fei woke up leisurely. Feeling dizzy, Lin Fei got up and washed his face, and then he felt much more comfortable. After cleaning up, Lin Fei returned to the sofa, looking at Wang Yao who was still sleeping next to him, and he was helpless. With this drinking capacity, you still want to compete with me? Pouting his lips, taking out a cigarette, Lin Fei smoked it by himself. Then, Lin Fei took out his cell phone. He wanted to see what the box office of the movie would be like. Attention to most point, and soon, Lin Fei finally saw it. Lin Fei smiled, and smiled happier than any time before. Yesterday's single day box office, 350 million. The data exploded. Chapter 100. Pig-liver face Zhang Qiang. Lin Fei smiled heartily, not expecting that things would take such a turn. This is definitely good news for Lin Fei. He dare not say that such box office has anything to do with him, but fortunately, it is enough that he has not had any bad impact on the box office. Little did he know that at this time, countless people were discussing on the internet, and everyone called Lin Fei the savior of the movie. According to the current voting on the internet, 95% of people watched this movie because of Lin Fei's acting skills at the end. This is surprising. At 11 o'clock in the morning, Wang Yao woke up with his head in his hands. He was still a little dazed when he saw the message on his mobile phone that Lin Fei handed over, and he immediately smiled. Hey, dear, what kind of explosive data is this? It must have broken the record, right? There have been so many popular movies in the past, but I have never seen such incredible data. Haha, now, I can finally relax. Okay, let's go wash up quickly. When we are done, it's time for us to prepare some food. After cleaning up, the two had a simple point. Looking at Lin Fei, Wang Yao hung up the phone. Damn. Fei, we just got the news that Sicken Yu went to Pinmingson alone at noon. You can go find him there. Pinmingson is a place he goes to almost once a week. Today is a coincidence. You can just go and find him there. I have something to do in the afternoon, so I can't accompany you, but if there is anything difficult to handle, you can call me. Even though Sicken Yu is a person that even I can't figure out, at least it can have some influence. Fine. Lin Fei nodded as he listened. He was now very curious about what kind of person this Sicken Yu would be. Thinking back to when Wang Yao told himself that Sicken Yu's thoughts were different from ordinary people's, he didn't even have any ideas about his family's property. Not to mention your own. Today's task is not easy for me. Success or failure, it all depends on today. Watching Wang Yao leave, Lin Fei also got into the car arranged by Kaobo and prepared to go to Pinmingson, which was 20 minutes away. Sitting in the car, Lin Fei closed his eyes and rested, thinking about what he should do next. At the same time, in Hazehao, Zhang Qiang's face had turned into the color of pig liver. Sitting in the office, looking at the food on the table in front of him, Zhang Qiang was so angry that he was not in the mood to eat. Damn it. Grass. Suddenly, Zhang Qiang uttered a curse word, and with a wave of his hand, the food in front of him was swept away, and everything fell to the ground. Picking up the phone in front of him, Zhang Qiang called his secretary Zhao Zhao. Not long after, Secretary Zhao Zhao walked in. At this time, she also looked bitter. Seeing him coming, Zhang Qiang looked angry. Oh, what on earth is going on? What on earth is going on? Snapped, slapping the table hard. Zhang Qiang almost went berserk. A few days ago, you told me that Wang Gaodan could threaten Lin Fei and find evidence of his illegal operations. After that, you told me that Wen Suwen could use her beauty to discredit Lin Fei. Later, you said that you arranged for someone to give bad reviews to Lin Fei's movie, causing it to suffer at the box office. What? Now, what's the outcome of these things? Feeling Zhang Qiang's emotions, Zhao Zhao looked nervous. Zhang Qiang continued to speak. Okay now, after a press conference, Lin Fei became famous. Wen Suwen's plan also fell through. Now I have terminated the contract. The single day box office of the movie Lin Fei participated in broke the single day record in the past 5 years. This is, did you give me the result? Brush. The angry Zhang Qiang took the ashtray next to him and threw it out without hesitation. Seeing Xiao Zhao dodge, the ashtray also hit the coffee table and the glass shattered on the ground. Zhang Qiang suddenly felt hot in his head. Get out. Get out of here. Feeling Zhang Qiang's anger, Xiao Zhao had to leave temporarily. Now, it's better not to add fuel to the fire. Oh no. Lin Fei, it's you again. You have repeatedly ruined my good deeds. Just wait. Zhang Qiang, and you are at odds with each other. Zhang Qiang's eyes were blood red, showing anger. Pinmingsuan is a unique farm in Yanjing. Here, the main focus is the unique green and pollution-free food. And here, you can enjoy super high treatment, and you will also enjoy delicious food and fine wine. However, here, the level of consumption will also be extremely high. Mr. Lin, Pinmingsuan is here. Lin Fei, who was relaxing in the car with his eyes closed, heard the driver's words and opened his eyes. Turning around and looking outside, it was at the outskirts. However, the car is here, and there are luxury cars parked on both sides of the road. Such a booming business surprised Lin Fei. Thank you, driver. It's okay. It's okay. Mr. Lin, please walk slowly. After thanking him, Lin Fei got out of the car. Standing on the roadside, I looked at a two-story villa made of brown wood in front of me. The plaque with the words Pinmingsuan was hanging on the beam. The font was vigorous and powerful. Just looking at it, Lin Fei felt a calm emotion coming over him. It is indeed a treasure place. After watching it for a long time, Lin Fei gave such an evaluation. Behind the restaurant, there is a house that looks like a resting place. After that, there is a farm with countless vegetables and livestock. At this time, Lin Fei could vaguely see that there were people taking care of everything. Hello, sir. Are you alone? Yes. Actually, I want to find someone. The receptionist at the door asked in confusion. Excuse me, sir. Who are you looking for? Sicken. You, master. Sicken. Hearing Lin Fei's words, the receptionist was obviously stunned. You Mr. Lin Fei. How do you know? This time, Lin Fei was the one who was confused. He didn't figure it out. What was going on? Why did this woman know him? The receptionist smiled and opened the door. Sir, I can't say more. You will know when you go in. You will know when you go in. Hearing this, Lin Fei walked in with a confused look on his face. What he saw was antique equipment with a fragrant smell that made people feel relaxed and happy. Walking in, Lin Fei found that no one paid attention to him. What's going on? This made Lin Fei even more confused. You are Lin Fei, right? You are much more handsome than what you see on TV. Suddenly, a voice sounded, and Lin Fei stopped instantly. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.